Wesley said they need to get the 10-point extra. Charlotte, you got Glenn Wright hustling everything. That's why I like this game. It gives you all the fundamentals.
All right, Michelle Thames comes out as the first shooters will be Phoenix. Michelle Thames, Cheryl, you're ready to tell us about it.
Bring it on.
There's Steve Nash from the Phoenix Suns. International, Michelle Thames from Australia. Steve Nash, born in South Africa, raised in Vancouver, British Columbia.
And Cheryl loves this team. One thing I'd say about this team, Cheryl, we know that they have been practicing.
They certainly have been practicing, and you got to notice the quickness. Now, their strategy coming into this competition is very simple. They want the money baskets. They want to concentrate on 7, 8, and 6. They're not going to worry about trying to hit all the spots. They're not even worried about the 10-point deduction. As long as they're hitting it at the 8, they can make that difference up.
I like that. It's a gamble, because if you're not hitting it and you get the minus 10, it's bye-bye.
But if you're not hitting it, period, you shouldn't hit the competition.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're underway. 60 seconds. And Steve Nash hits his first one. The score running on your screen. They have 60 seconds. Alternating shots are required. This is for 8.
Yeah, you can see they're just going to go 8.
Michelle Thames misses the 8, and you see the long rebound all the time.
Yeah, that's the one area that could hurt you. If you're going for the long-distance shot, a long miss is a long rebound.
I like that better.
That's a 7.
Going 7 and 8 is not a bad idea.
By the way, the 7 is the women's three-point line at 19-9. Michelle Thames, but beyond 24 feet, really missed both of them.
That's 21 seconds. Shot.
Yeah. You know, they were really doing actually better in their warm-ups with the crowd around them. I was wondering how they were going to react to it. A little nervous so far.
Only 12 seconds. A big score, a good score in this competition is up around 70 or so. So they're struggling. This will be 8 more. Well, they may not be struggling with 1.2 seconds. That would have counted, but it's waved off, and a score of 59 for the first competitors in the first ever 2-ball competition.
Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
It is exciting.
Now, is that 59 and then minus 10? Is that 49?
Well, we shall see.
We shall find out.
Going to Marquette, 59 minus 10 is 49.
Where Doc was all conference in math.
Yes.
No, there's no minus 10, so they said they shot from... Oh, there you go. There's the deduction.
Well, there we go.
The minus. I tell you what, the shooting, towards the end, they really caught fire. I think Cheryl's right. I think they're a little nervous.
Well, there's the official score, 59, but they did not shoot. You have to attempt 1 shot from every spot. No bonus. That's making 1 from every spot. The final, 49. Steve Nash really kept them in this by hitting 4 from beyond the arc, which was 4 8-point shots. Now let's move right on. As you see, this is quick competition. The second team up, Michelle Edwards and Wesley Person from Cleveland.
No one picked this team.
No one picked this team, but they're making me a little nervous. Wesley Person said, I'm going to stay on the 8 and let Michelle do all the work. And Michelle certainly very mobile, slasher, played for the Rockets. I mean, one of the Rockers played one of the greatest games that I've ever seen against the Liberty.
Opening up with a Wesley Person 3. There's the 2 layup. Back to Wesley. Not this time. There's the next layup. Now, that's the only layup the teams can take.
They're only allowed 2.
I like their game plan. I thought that was really smart. Wesley taking the first 2 8s. They're doing the right thing so far.
The one thing about Michelle, she's allowing herself to get into the flow, starting in closer, whereas Michelle Thames starting from long, a little nervous, wasn't hitting the shots early on.
One thing I want you to notice, Wesley is staying on the 8. What Michelle is doing there, she's going to try to get to all the other spots so they still won't get the minus. I like this move.
Yeah. Good. 20 seconds. It's interesting. As I said, they're scoring 70 and 80 in practice, but once the lights turn on and the game begins,
it's a lot different.
Yeah, when you smell the popcorn, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
There's no popcorn cooking early.
They're really just struggling right now.
Yeah, they are.
And that's deep. That is a deep A. And they need that one.
Did count. The aim did count. For Cleveland, the Rockers and the Cavaliers, represented by Michelle Edwards and Wesley Person.
I like their strategy early. The problem, like Cheryl said, they just didn't make the shot.
They didn't make the shots. They got to, I believe they got to all 7 spots, so they will get 10 points.
So it's officially 40.
It's just 40. They didn't get, okay.
No violation points. They did get to all the spots. 40 points with no deductions, no penalties, no bonus, and that is the score. And right now, remember, only 2 teams advance to the finals. There's no semifinals. So right now, the number to beat to remain one of the 2 teams would be 40. Next up is Utah. Utah with the team of Tammy Reese from the Utah Stars. She's 5'6", 129 from University of Virginia, where she played her college ball, and Carl Malone. And Cheryl, Doc really loves their strategy.
Yes, I do.
Bring it on, Doc. What is it about this
I
strategy?
tell you what, the thing I like about this strategy is the lady does all the work. Carl Malone just stands there and shoots, and I like it.
And you'll notice that when she's running around, she will actually have time to go out and get Carl some water. I thought this is the problem with this ball.
Isn't this nice?
Hey, Carl has shot 2 3-points the whole season.
Yeah. But you know what? He's the man. He's the man, and he has dictated the rules of the house.
And the house is crumbling.
It is. The house is on fire.
Yeah, this house is going to come down on it.
Oh,
Carl needs to move in a little bit. Carl needs to move in. But
I have to agree.
Hey, just like the man, the woman is carrying the team.
Carl is 1 for 5 from the 3-point mark.
but I like this strategy.
Hurry, Tammy. Hurry, Tammy. All right, now he's heating up.
Carl's on
11
fire.
seconds. Is Tammy going to get to all 7 spots?
The problem is retrieving Carl's bricks.
And she's expending a lot of energy.
Yes, she is. I bet Carl's got tired.
That shot did count. That was for 5. Well, I think the men's rights movement took a heavy blow.
Carl, first of all, should be carrying Tammy Reese off the floor.
Yes, he should. I agree. And he has no reason to sweat. None.
However, 43 points. Tammy Reese, despite having to do all the work, got to all the spots. They get a 10-point bonus, and right now they have 53 points to lead all competitors.
It was painful to watch, but it paid off.
Cheryl, just listen to the men who set the tone.
Look at that, Cheryl. I tell you, Carl Malone is on to something nationally, worldwide. What do you think?
What are you talking about? I can't believe you're sitting up here.
I hope my wife's not watching.
All right, exactly.
Reese was 6 out of 8. And now our next team up from the Comets, Cynthia Cooper, who is the elder lady in this.
Elder lady, but the MVP.
Oh, yeah.
WNBA, and this young lady can absolutely fill it up.
And Clyde Drexler, who's been an MVP himself, of course, one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. Clyde is shooting threes at only 29%. Cynthia, 5'10" from USC.
There's the connection right there.
Yes. Need we say more?
Cynthia, by the way, in the spirit of gender cooperation, is engaged to an Italian men's team player.
All right.
She played in the Italian league.
I'll tell you what, they're shooting the ball.
Clyde Drexler has stepped in and is more comfortable in his range. I like this. They're shooting the ball well.
They really are. The thing I like about this team, they're both scoring.
Yes, they are.
And they like lights.
Hey, they said, exactly. Lights, camera, and action. And Cooper said, coming to this competition, all we have to do is score. We're shooters, we're scorers. Once we get this game going, we're going to take it over.
Cynthia Cooper has not missed a shot.
I think she was the most serious in practice.
That doesn't surprise me.
She really was.
For 8, no. 9 seconds to go. For 4 points, 5, no.
You can see them pushing now.
Well, they're
rushing shots.
They're older players, remember. This will count. A great start.
Yes.
Did they get to every spot? Did they get to every spot?
They got to every spot, I'm pretty sure. So they're going to have 54 points.
4 points.
All right, this is the Houston team, the Rockets and the Comets. Cynthia Cooper and Clyde Drexler, no violations. They did get the 10 bonus points, and they are now leading this. Remember, only 2 teams advance to the final round.
So far, what I've learned from this competition, get to every spot. Because that 10 extra points is huge.
It pads it, especially if you're not shooting the ball well.
All right, that's what stands now. The green lights on the left show you the 2 that are right now in the lead for advancing, 54 and 53. And we'll be back with the second half. The first up to shoot will be Lisa Leslie and Kobe Bryant.
Sunday night, a Superstation movie premiere.
There's little margin for error here. I don't see any margin at all, sir.
In a world that didn't want them.
As God is my witness, those boys will never see combat.
They fought for a country and the honor of a people.
You have arrived.
Lawrence Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr., and John Lithgow. The true story of the Tuskegee Airmen. 8:30 Eastern, Sunday on the Superstation.
Sometimes I dream. Trying to say that the weakness is here?
Yes.
So he needs to get this.
Here are the standings, 54 and 53. This means Phoenix and Cleveland have been eliminated. So it's going to be Houston and Utah, or two teams that will beat those scores. Number 53 is the number to beat right now. Next up, Los Angeles. Lisa Leslie, 6'5", 170. What is it about Southern Cal?
Boy, I don't know.
Hey, something in the water, kid.
Boy.
Something in the water.
I think so, and of course she's been on hang time with Reggie Theus, so
That
you can
might
tell that
be
she's
it.
big time. It's been a year in Italy. She shoots very well from beyond the arc. And Kobe Bryant, the youngest all-star starter, the reigning slam dunk champion, and Kobe is shooting threes at the rate of 36%. 60 seconds, Kobe and Lisa.
Thing you like about Kobe, one thing he said, he's not here for fun. He's here to compete.
That's it. All they want to do is that prize money. Show me the money. You know what's amazing to watch Lisa is the fact that she's 6'5" and has range.
Yes.
And look at this, they're both give each other, it's like two dancers and both want to lead. You'd understand that, Joe.
I'd understand.
They need to make some shots.
I tell you, there's
Kobe missed from 10 feet.
I'm telling you right now, all the hoopla and all the hype about this being the favorite team,
Yes.
these guys are nervous.
They are struggling. This is a young basketball team here.
Now look at, get a shot of Magic, because Magic's starting to panic.
Listen to it.
Oh, that's all we want. Stay out there. Hey, stay out there. All we want is three. Oh, they need more than three. I tell you that. They need a lot of points.
This will count. And a disappointing 27 unofficially.
We gotta wait.
Let's hear what Magic
They
says
gotta
here.
tally it up.
Well, Magic said they had to add it up.
We just didn't get none.
Oh, that's all we want. Stay out there. Hey, stay out there. All we want is three.
All right, now listen, Lisa Leslie was 5 of 8. Kobe only 2 for 8 from any of the spots.
And
What do you think, Shell?
Hey, what is amazing is that when they initially selected these teams and they went around, this team rang up 93 points.
Yes. They had
that was
a good day.
And that was a great day with no audience, without the cameras, without the hype.
Yes.
So Houston and Utah stay in the lead. Remember, only 2 advance to the finals. Next up will be Charlotte. From the Charlotte Sting, Andrea Stenson. Her nickname is Stent. When she was in high school, they called her Miss Jordan. She's been playing in Italy and France, out of North Carolina State, and she shoots 33% from the 19-9 three-point arc in the women's NBA, and she'll be shooting with Glenn Rice. And this is the team, may I remind you,
That's your team.
that I like.
But Bob, you should know one thing about Stent. She has no conscience. So it should be a good one.
That's good. You need no conscience.
Well, they got two guys like that. Glenn Rice is the same way.
Andrea Stenson puts in the two-point layup. They go right back to Glenn Rice to keep going for the threes. Remember, he's a former three-point champion in 1995 in the AT&T long-distance shootout.
Now, Doc, you don't
Over
get
3.
your first two. When you step in somewhere, get your range, and then step back out, get your rhythm.
But this is a guy named Glenn Rice who thinks he can always shoot three-pointers.
All right, that's a 7. This is for 5. Now for 8. This is a big one for them.
Wow. If Glenn Rice is not going to shoot well from the three-point line,
He's got to step in.
they're in trouble.
And he is 0 for 4. Finally knocks one. Let's see. Have they gone to all 7 spots? You have to alternate shots. That's why Andrea is shooting in between. 2 in a row. This is for 5. This will be for 8. It'll count if it goes. It goes, it counts. Now, did they hit all 7 spots?
That's the question. I don't know if they did.
But I don't think they're going to have enough to be the top 2 anyway.
They finished with 44.
44.
Yes.
So the current leaders after 16 in first place, Houston. And in second place, Utah.
And Glenn Rice inside the arc was much better. And I think you're right, Cheryl. I think he should have started out that way, got the feel, and then step behind the line.
Okay.
Something. Did you notice the warm-up? The guys didn't come out on the floor until late.
Yes.
Thinking they were going to turn it on. Hasn't happened.
There's the official score. No penalties, no bonus, 44. So the team that Cheryl picked, Phoenix, they're out of there. The team I picked, Charlotte, they're out of there.
Yes.
Doc?
Does that surprise you two?
Now, who did you pick?
Right here.
Okay.
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Let's see what happens.
You know, Cheryl just made a great point, Bob. She said the guys didn't come out here till late.
That's right. They didn't.
All the ladies were out here shooting, working. They were here at least an hour ahead of time. And I would say, so far, the ladies have absolutely outshot the guys in this thing so far.
I was hoping you would say that. I was hoping you would say that.
It's
After
tough.
that.
It's tough.
Whole Karl Malone.
But Karl Malone's alive.
It'll forever be known as the Malone.
The Malone,
All right, here we go. This is Ruthie Bolton Holyfield and Mitch Richmond.
Now, that's what I like to see, the guy taking the lead.
What is going on?
He just barely rattled that one home.
He scared me.
Of course, he doesn't know he may be traded over to the Sacramento
He
WNBA.
could be on a different team before this tournament's over. Easy.
Like right now, right before this 60 seconds is over. Mitch Richmond's missing from long distance.
Well, you see, not stroking the ball very well.
Wow.
All right, Reggie, by the way, Reggie Theus is their coach.
That's my weakness. That is my weakness. Give me some ace.
Shoot him, baby!
See, he's just playing his role from hang time. This is...
I see you, Ruthie. Come on, baby. Got plenty of time. Got plenty of time, Nick.
That's an 8.
Ruthie, give me some ace over there. Give me some ace.
That was a 7.
Big shot.
Did they get to all 7?
I think they did.
If they did,
You got him in. It's all right.
you need 53 to tie for second.
47.
In there.
47. Let's see if they shot from all, if they hit from all 7 for the 10. I don't think so.
Boy, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
All they had to do
They were moving
was
around.
shoot from each spot, and they were moving around. If they shoot from each spot, they are in the finals.
I'm never one.
Oh, wow.
I'm never one, Doc and Bobby, to be critical of the coach.
Yes.
That's the coach's responsibility.
That
I
is
think this-
coaching mistake.
I think we need to make a change in the coach instead of this team. Reggie is out of there.
Critical.
So that's not enough to advance in Houston and Utah from the first half. Still standing up and now the hometown favorites from New York City. Rebecca Lobo from the Liberty. She's the youngest player on the Olympic team in '96. They're coached by Walt Frazier, the 33% range. For Rebecca's 29%. Alan Houston shoots at 38, of course, with the New York Knicks. 60 seconds. They've got to beat 53 to advance.
And I like their strategy. We asked him about it. He said, Doc, all we're doing is shoot. We don't care from where. We're putting it up.
Scores mentality. And last night, Rebecca said one thing. You know what? We have the best seat in the house to play in our backyard, and we get to go last. We have no excuses.
She has a good point. I think going last helps. But not right now.
This is for 6. Once again, the woman hitting the shots more than the man. Alan Houston hits the 8. This is for 7. The bounce doesn't go for Rebecca Lobo.
Oh, they need some shots.
Now, see, this is when you need your coach calling out numbers.
Yes.
So
Because
the
I don't know
second
if they know
person,
where to go.
exactly, the coach needs to make sure that there's some direction and guidance so they can get that extra 10 points.
Walt Frazier's calling for the ball. Wait a minute, they've still got a shot here, this team. Got to get back to the 7s and 8s, though. 8 seconds left. Ooh, that may have been the miss, but
They need this one. They get this one, they're in it.
They got it. That's 44, but now, to get the 10-point bonus,
I think
they
they
will have
got
had to have made a shot from all places, remember.
Oh, yes.
that's
that's
correct.
right.
10-point
That's
deduction.
That's why Allen Houston continued to go to the free throw line.
And what happened?
It's where they didn't make it. Isn't that amazing?
They did
Free
not
throw
hit
line.
from the 4-point spot. which is the free throw line.
But you know what? None of them took free throw shots. They took jump shots from the free throw line.
So it's this simple. Here are the standings. Our two finalists are Utah and Houston, showing you what great handicappers we are. Houston with 54, Utah 53. These numbers don't advance to the finals. We'll be back in just a moment for the inaugural competition in...
The new Dodge wanted to take the sport utility concept to a higher level.
Time for the finals, Houston and Utah. Greg Sager.
Karl Malone and Tammy Reese, they are in the finals. Obviously, you went out there with a strategy. You made Tammy do all the work.
Well, we worked on this beforehand. I know Cheryl was killing me, but we had a strategy that I stand out there and shoot the 8. Tammy said, I don't mind running around because you're a big guy. You need to stay in one spot. That's what I did. I listened to my coach.
We always know he's one of the quickest players on the court. Same strategy for the finals?
Same strategy for the finals. We're going to go with what got us here, and when the big guy tells me to run around, I listen to the big guy.
All right, good luck in the finals. Let's go back to Bob.
Cheryl, I feel obligated to give you...
We should send amen right now.
Let's give Cheryl a quick moment for comment.
Yes.
First of all, Karl, looking at the stat sheet this season, is shooting 500 behind the three-point arc, but has only taken 2 shots. I've got to kill that strategy.
Well, you know, he is the best three-point shooter percentage-wise in this tournament, though it's only 2 shots.
That's true.
And here are our finalists, Malone and Reese. And I really like Tammy's attitude about being willing to hustle for the big guy because it's harder for him to move around. I like that attitude. Houston with 54. Drexler and Cooper, the 2 oldest competitors in the tournament.
And then Karl Malone is no youngin'. So they got some veterans in here. That might be why they're in it, because of composure.
Composure, but you know what? I like the young legs of Tammy Reese.
Yes.
She's willing to do that leg work. I like their chances.
That's true. In the second round, age might hurt you. Yes. Not for Karl Malone, since he's not moving at all.
Remember, the scores do not transfer. So we don't add into the scores from the first round. This is all fresh, brand new. 60 seconds, highest score wins.
The whole key to this strategy is Karl Malone making shots.
No question. He makes that, and Tammy Reese, if they can get that bonus, great shape.
Karl is 0 for 2.
One thing I'll say about Tammy Reese, I want you to look how hard she passes the ball to Karl Malone. There is no time.
That's good teaming. Good teamwork, good fundamentals.
That was for 8. Karl's 1 for 3.
Karl almost moved just then.
Wow. They're looking at that 10-point bonus.
Somebody bring him some Gatorade. All right, he hit 2 8s in a row.
They're in good shape.
Yes, they are.
This is the 4.
Oh, wow.
See, she's faking them because she has not missed a shot yet.
And Karl Malone is on fire.
Yes, he is.
This is a big one. He goes down. Tammy Reese. Karl Malone. For 7, Tammy at the buzzer. No. But 51 points. And unofficially, we believe they made one from every spot. But we'll wait for a moment. Yes, they did.
Yes.
Unofficially still, but we believe they made one from every spot. That'll be a 10-point bonus.
You know, Tammy Reese is the key to this because she has to go, not only go to every spot, she has to make it. And look at that pass. I mean, she is rifling
And
the basketball.
setting up Karl Malone.
Fundamentals in this game.
Hey, all I have to say, WNBA is carrying the NBA.
I'm with you.
I'm telling you.
I'm feeling you on that one. That's tough for me to say.
I know it is. I know it is.
Let's hear it again. Try it again, Doc.
They're carrying the NBA.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, there's the 10 bonus. 61.
Wow.
Reese and Malone. And now,
61.
from Houston, Cynthia Cooper. She's 35 years old.
But in shape.
22.2 points a game. 47% she averaged from the field.
Get ready, Houston.
Unanimously voted the MVP of the WNBA. Houston, of course, the champions.
Yes. See, I think there's huge pressure, not only for them to make shots, they know now they have to make a shot from every spot.
Yes, they do.
They're on their way.
That was a 6 by Clyde. Those are the 2 layups. They're finished for them now. That's the free throw. I think they're looking for this bonus. Those are the only free throws to be taken now. You can get a maximum of 2 from the 5.
They have a shot.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they're doing with teamwork. They're alternating shots, so no one's getting worn down.
They've got to hit from the 7 and the 8 yet, though.
That's the 8 right here.
Here's the 7, 5. All right, only one more spot where they have to make a bucket, and that'll come from the point shot. This is about 24 feet away.
This is going to be close. Now they need a couple more. They need 1-8.
Very big shot.
This is the big shot right here.
Drexler. Houston not only will have won the WNBA champion and be two-time NBA champions in the 90s, but with that 73, Houston will be the inaugural All-Star two-ball champion. And I'll say right now,
this is great.
I like this competition.
Forget about the dunk.
Yes.
Forget about the dunk. It's past it. Two-ball is here to stay.
Wow. I mean, this was great. This was great teamwork, great shooting, and great hustle by both people. How about that?
And Doc, next season, I like that. Dramatically, that was really, really good. But next season, you will see the guys coming out an hour before. Great teamwork, hustle work, great shooting. Carmelo looking up at the clock.
Oh, man.
Just missed out.
Well, so much for the men's movement, Carl. Nice try, but come back again with another idea next year. And Craig Sager with our winners.
Well, thank you very much. Holding up the fingers for number one. Talk about the strategy. Obviously different than Utah's. Here you alternated.
Well, we try to alternate strategies, use our quickness. When you shoot, follow, get the rebound, kick it out, go back to your spot.
Yes, and Clyde was excellent. He's an excellent mover. He shoots from all the positions, so we wanted to take advantage of our quickness and the fact that we could shoot from all different positions. We wanted to make sure we did that.
Teamwork obviously a key. How often do you guys practice when you get to see each other being in Houston?
Well, being in Houston together, we practice a couple of times. But Cynthia is just a natural shooter. She's a great shooter. She's a great competitor. I knew the minute they put people in the stands, it was all over.
And Clyde is the same way. He is a clutch performer. I knew just as soon as they blew that whistle, they said go. He was going to light up the nets, and that's what happened. I mean, he is a great. I am so fortunate to have Clyde as a partner. Yes, you
bring on the competition. We're ready.
It's the NBA All-Star Weekend, but Cheryl says the WNBA stole this competition.
WNBA is supposed to steal this competition. This is the first year of an integrated event, and we're happy to be pioneers of this great sport.
And the champions. Thanks a lot. Let's go back to Bob.
What tremendous spokesman. Cynthia Cooper and Clyde Drexler. I don't want to quit. I'd like to see that again. That's all we've got until next year. 73-61 in the final round. Cooper and Drexler, the winners. They won both the first round and the championship. And the 1998 Schick All-Star rookie game is the
VP was a point guard. And Hardaway, Iverson, Stoudemire, and then Eddie Jones from the Lakers won at the other time. Now, what does that mean? The perimeter players control the basketball. The inside post-up people are at the mercy of the perimeter players to get a shot.
Also, he'll be the last two you mentioned, Stoudemire and Iverson. They not only were the MVP in this game, went on to be named the Rookie of the Year in the NBA. So we're set to go, and a rookie game and a chance to impress, as Kobe Bryant did last year with 30 points, although Allen Iverson was spectacular. Underway, and the tip controlled by the West. Antonio Daniels in the backcourt. Daniels from Vancouver misses the shot, and Keith Van Horn gets the rebound. Brevin Knight to Ron Mercer, and over the top it'll be West ball.
Now, in these games, you have to remember the players only got together for 1 hour yesterday to work out. Naturally, the coaches aren't putting anything of any consequence in. Basically, the defenses are somewhat matador, okay, a little bit like summer basketball.
And one of these days, we're going to get someone who's going to be an outstanding defensive player, and he'll put that aspect of the game on the map in the rookie game. Brevin Knight, one of three Cavaliers playing in the game, throws it away. Roderick Rose with a fancy pants to Jackson, behind to Maurice Taylor, formerly from Michigan, who coming off the bench has averaged nearly 11 a game.
Yeah, they really like his talent out in L.A. They like the fact that he can shoot the ball facing and also post up and score and shoot a high percentage, Dick.
Ilgauskas and Van Horn, pretty big front line for this team. And there is Brevin Knight from Stanford, and he overthrows Van Horn. Last year, if I remember, we also had a flurry of turnovers to start the game.
Yeah, well, they really don't know one another, and they're anticipating. And you think of Brevin Knight, the guy's averaging 3 assists for every turnover, which ranks in the top 7 in the NBA.
So he has been an impact rookie as the Cleveland Cavaliers change their entire roster. And there is the basket scored by Jackson. And he is an all-round player. Bobby Jackson at 6'1", formerly of Minnesota. And Ron Mercer has the ball knocked away by Antonio Daniels. Good defensive play. Here is Jackson. And he lays it in for the first 2 baskets for the West.
Well, you know, at Minnesota, he drove them to the Final Four a year ago. And this season, he's having a difficult time just being a point guard because he scores first. And, you know, the assists and turnovers are at a bad ratio right now. But he has a terrific game, Dick.
West has it. They have a 6-0 lead. And they've got the ball again. Jackson, who's been hot so far, misses the 3, and the rebound on the other side by Michael Stewart. And Van Horn gets the rebound. As we said, Tim Duncan would have obviously played in this game, but he has been selected as one of the reserves tomorrow in the All-Star game. Jadrunas Ilgauskas misses. Loose ball underneath, and Roderick Rhodes gets it out to Daniels. Here's Daniels. No one picks him up, and Antonio Daniels, the 4th pick in the draft, who leads Vancouver in assists, makes it 8-0.
Now, he's explosive in the open floor. He has a little difficulty when they get in the half-court offense, shooting a high percentage and getting a lot of points. But he distributes the ball well for Vancouver.
Here is Ilgauskas, and he draws the foul. How good has Ilgauskas been for this team this year?
Dick, think about it. First-round draft pick in '96, never played college basketball in Lithuania, 7'3", comes to with Cleveland, sits out an entire year because of major foot surgery, adds 25 pounds. Now, to me, the surprise of the year has been this young man, in my opinion. We're talking about a guy who plays 25, 26 minutes a game, gives you 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 shot blocks, and is really a force and has a terrific game with his back to the basket.
No question about it. Next to Tim Duncan, who averages over 11 rebounds, he is the top rebounding rookie in the league, and why Cleveland is a big threat in the Eastern Conference.
Well, you think of Cleveland, they're 27-20. Out of their first 6 players, everyone's new. 4 rookies with Person and Kemp, and they have 27 wins. These 4 rookies are great. Now, Derek Anderson isn't playing tonight because of knee surgery, but your main thing with him is, how about 13 a game?
Tim Thomas with a stop. Thomas from Villanova playing in his college hometown of Philadelphia at 6'10", best known for threes, but he stuffed that one through. And Maurice Taylor misses from the corner. And here is Brevin Knight finds Ron Mercer. Mercer with a fall-away hit. Mercer, one of 2 Celtics on this team, and another former Kentucky Wildcat playing now for Rick Pitino in the NBA.
Now, he's averaging 14 a game and shooting a pretty good percentage. The thing which surprises me, Dick, Mercer is 2 for 22 and 3. He's not a 3-point shooter. Kind of interesting.
Here is Michael Stewart, who they nicknamed Yogi, and he is the 5th best shot blocker in the NBA. He averaged nearly 7 rebounds a game, and you talked about non-number 1 picks. He wasn't even drafted.
They brought him in to work out against some players that they were thinking of drafting high, Sacramento. Why? Because he lives in the town. He all of a sudden, he's showing them great defense, shot blocking ability. They bring him back to the regular camp. He makes the team. After a while, they're not happy with Polynice at the center position. Boom, he's in the starting lineup and doing a sensational job.
Roderick Rhodes, and he's picked up a lot of loose balls under the basket for the West thus far. And he, too, a former Kentucky Wildcat before he transferred. And Taylor shot off the rim, taken away by Jackson. Great save by Bobby Jackson. And there is Michael Stewart with a high-wire act. And Stewart scores. He has 5. Jackson has 4, and it's a 13-6 West lead.
Now, when you look at Stewart, he's a legit 6'10". Out of the University of California, well coached out there by Ben Braun. And, he's nothing but the upside.
And the same, of course, as you've talked about with Jadrunas Ilgauskas, the Lithuanian 7'3" center, and it's a 5-point West advantage.
Ilgauskas, Dick, has every offensive move that a postman should have. And for a young player, that's rare.
Roderick Rhodes with a turnaround, and I know how much you appreciate good big men because that was really the centerpiece of your team. Mercer passes up the 3, comes inside the line. Ilgauskas trying to tap it out, but it goes to the West. And an errant toss out of bounds, and it's East ball with 10:14 remaining in the first half. Keep in mind, as you look at Bob McAdoo and Willis Reed of the East team, you cannot foul out in this game. but after 10 team fouls, there is a penalty tacked on.
Yeah, that's a great rule. So that way everyone gets a chance to play, and nobody's worrying about fouling. Just play, get up and down, have a good time.
Tim Thomas's miss. Rhodes. And now Jackson hits. So Bobby Jackson, who's the second leading scorer on the Nuggets, averaging nearly 14 a game and a 7-point West lead. Jackson has 6. Stewart gets the rebound. Rhodes releasing at the other end, and Roderick Rhodes. What about Rhodes, who has started the last 11 games at small forward?
Yeah, everyone questioned Houston when they picked him at 24, Dick. You know, he had a somewhat year at USC in his final season. But you're talking about a guy who started 11 games for him now and doing an excellent job with the points, garbage, and small forward in the 2-guard position.
That was Antonio Daniels in a timeout as the West has opened up an 11-point lead placed by Bobby Jackson's 6 points. Ilgauskas has 4 to lead the East, and we'll be right back.
The sun rises.
9:21 remaining in the first half, 15-minute hand. And Chauncey Billups has come in along with Cedric Henderson for the East Stars and Tracy McGrady. McGrady at 18, the youngest player in the NBA right now, with Kobe Bryant in his second year, and Billups comes in with a smash.
Yeah, Billups is a very heady screen and roll player, and he has the range to knock in the 3. They could have gone either way that time. Post Van Horn or take the 3 or the long jump shot.
Maurice Taylor trying to post up against Tracy McGrady, does, and connects. Maurice Taylor, who had 26 points and 5 rebounds against the Crosstown Lakers earlier this year.
And he did it in 20 minutes, which is amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, he can post up down inside. You can see he's got a wide frame, Dick, and he's got the physical strength in the upper shoulder area.
Here's Billups, and we were impressed with him in Game 1 when the Celtics beat the Bulls at the Fleet Center. Keith Van Horn with his first basket on his first shot of the game.
If you've never seen Van Horn play before, this guy can do it all. He's got great hop. He can touch the top of the box above the rim, which is 11 feet. He's got a 3-point game. He can post up. He's an 85% foul shooter, and he's got the total package.
He's a good inside-outside player, and of course, small forward would be his ideal position, leading New Jersey at 19.5 points a game, as you see, and leading NBA rookies with 6 rebounds as well, and a great free throw shooter, too. They reset the 24-second clock. Now we have 16 on it with 8:15 remaining in the first half as Jackson's pass skipped by Daniels.
Yeah, they got a bad skip that time. That was a good ball, Dick. That was throwing too hard and at a bad angle.
Danny Fortson of the Denver Nuggets, Kelvin Cato, who replaced Tim Duncan. He plays for the Trailblazers, and Alvin Williams, a 6'5" guard from Villanova, also a member of the Blazers in the game.
What you like to see is that all the players get an equal chance to show their wares. Now, when you are a rookie in the NBA, if you get drafted by a playoff team, well, you're probably not going to get a lot of minutes and naturally a lot of shot opportunities. If you're on a losing team, you have minutes, you have points, you get shot attempts, everything is going your way.
Right now, let's check in with Brian Burwell. Brian?
I know, Steve. Coming to regular these All-Star games, but there's more to it than just coming to watch basketball, isn't it?
This is my 5th All-Star game. I bring my son every year. If he does good in school, this is our little bonding trip together.
Where is he right now?
He's on court. He's a ball boy.
You know, this guy has pull. This is why it's good to be a big-time actor.
No, there's nothing about pull. He's just a good kid, and he does good.
All right, thanks a lot. Okay. Back to you.
He earned it, Brian. Remember that.
There you go.
All right. Henderson with a knocking shot good. Cedric Henderson, who has moved into the starting lineup with a splash, averaging 12 points a game.
This guy's got a game, and it's all off the dribble and on the offensive boards and in the open floor.
For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Danny Fortson lays it in. We told you about his strength. Second leading rebounder for the Nuggets, and he's gone on the line more than any other Denver player.
Well, on the floor right now, you have Fortson at 260 and also Taylor at 260 for the West. You get Cato in there as a 6'10" shot blocker. So let's see if they can make a major splash here. All-Star games are played in peaks and valleys, a lot of streaks.
Sounds like an offensive line in an NFL team with some of the weights you mentioned. Tracy McGrady hits a 3. So McGrady, who came from Mount Zion Christian Academy in Durham, North Carolina, to the NBA as the 9th overall pick, cuts the West lead to 5. playing for the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, he's had his minutes, you know, cut down because of injuries. And also when he came back, he was not able to excel against the proven pro players.
You know, it's funny watching Billups and Mercer. It's Rick Pitino style all over again with his center court trap with 2 Celtics.
Hey, they don't know any other way, because if they do not do this at all times, you're on the bench in a heartbeat.
Chauncey Billups misses from the perimeter, but Keith Van Horn keeps it alive. That's his 4th rebound. He has hit his only shot of the game. We have under 7 minutes to go, and Cato gets a piece of Henderson's shot. Taylor, Jackson, no-look pass to Fortson, and the 2 Denver Nuggets, who are rookies and impressive ones combined, and a foul. Fortson will go to the free throw line.
When you look at all of these rookies in this game, they're the only guys who are shooting 50% are inside players like Henderson and Ilgauskas. Then also Stewart from Sacramento. The majority of the perimeter players are all in the low 40s and high 30s. So for all you college guys who are out there and you're watching television, you see NBA games, you think that you're going to just step right in here and shoot a high percentage like you're at college, you better come with a game. Because in the NBA, 24-second clock, great defense, they pressure you into low shooting percentages until you can take the physical punishment and then shoot a high percentage.
Ilgauskas replaces Van Horn. And also a lesson here is that you don't have to be a lottery pick or a number 1 to be in this game and be a good rookie.
Oh, absolutely not.
McGrady, Ilgauskas from the corner. And there's Ilgauskas getting the pass back from Mercer. Great pass from Ron Mercer, and Ilgauskas now with 6 points to lead the East Stars. Jackson still with 6, the top scorer for the West.
Now remember, Ilgauskas is 7-3.
Jackson hits from the perimeter. He's got 8, and it's 25-20 the West. 7-3, pretty nimble for a 7-3, as Billups is fouled by Alvin Williams.
Everything with Ilgauskas is easy, Dick. He's never rushing anywhere. See, and now he has great hands. Now, I know that was an easy catch, but he catches the ball in traffic. Then he has power moves, drop step moves. He's got the fadeaway jump shot. He dunks strong with both hands, and then he's got the baby hooks with either hand. He came well-schooled in offensive fundamentals.
Cavaliers with just about an entirely new roster, new starting 5. And as you mentioned, 27-20. Mike Fratello's done a terrific job with his team. They've got power, they've got speed in Brevin Knight. So they're a team to watch in the second half, but Derek Anderson will be out 6 to 8 weeks, and that'll hurt.
Yeah, and he's averaging 13 points for them, and he's 4th in the league in foul shooting at 88%. So you know he is another tough scorer.
Alvin Williams will go to the free throw line, fouled by Tim Thomas. And Thomas from Villanova fouls Alvin Williams from Villanova, who replaced Kenny Anderson this year, and the Blazers continue to win.
Dick, he did a magnificent job. He started 8 games. He does not rush things. He's 6'5". He takes his time. He keeps Portland within their half-court sets. Now, the night that we had, Bob Neal and I did Utah losing to Portland. He was the point guard that night, got close to 20 points, but he played a flawless backcourt game. I really liked his tempo.
And he was picked in the second round, the 48th pick in the draft. McGrady, who hit a 3 earlier, misses, and Ilgauskas follows with the basket. So Zydrunas Ilgauskas now with 8 points to go along with 4 rebounds. And the West, which has led all the way in this game, or many by 11, have their lead down to 4. And a foul is called, and we're going to get Roderick Rhodes and Antonio Daniels come back in for the West.
Last year's game, Dick, was the poorest played of all of the rookie games. It was long passes, alley-oops, no one guarding. It was totally disrespect for any kind of organization. Tonight, we're getting like a nice tempo here. Guys are playing together. They're looking for guys. If you're free, the guy is getting you the basketball.
Kelvin Cato with the hook shot. And Henderson misses. And the follow-up good. And the basket by Tim Thomas. And it is now 28-24.
You know, Tim Thomas, Dick, everyone was questioning why he would come out of Villanova at the end of his freshman year. Now, I know he was Rookie of the Year of the Big East, but he did not have an overwhelming type of a season. So guys question whether or not he could shoot a high percentage. And, you know, he's shooting 47, 37 in threes, and 71 on the line. Not bad.
Best three-point shooting rookie in the NBA at that 37%. Not bad for 6'10". Here's Williams. And the rebound by Tim Thomas. So it's 28-25. The East was down, as we said, by as many as 11. They've climbed back, trailing by 3 with under 4 or 5 minutes to go.
Yeah,
Henderson to Ilgauskas, who hits. Good ball movement by a couple of Cavaliers.
Well, Henderson is so quick. You see, you turn your head guarding Henderson, he is quick. Out of Memphis, 6'7", you know, long arms, quick body. And if you notice, he could have forced that shot. He gave it right up to the big fella.
So it's a one-point game, but driving the hoop is Cato. And Cato was fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Now, just keep an eye on the cut right there. Now, watch. He could have forced that shot, but you reward the big fella. Why do you reward the big fella? On the fast break and 2-on-1 situations, so that they will continue to rebound, block shots, and get the ball out at the other end.
Kelvin Cato on the free throw line makes the first. He has led the Trailblazers in the shot blocking. Brevin Knight replaces Tracy McGrady. Cato had, you know, talking about Cato at the line, who was a late replacement. He had 8 blocks against Utah, which was 1 shy of the Trailblazers record set by both Bill Walton and Michael Thompson. Pretty strong company.
Well, I did that game that night, and I tell you, he was overpowering, and it saved them the game, and they defeated Utah at home. Now, in this game tonight, we have Brevin Knight from New Jersey, Seton Hall. We have Timmy Thomas from Patterson Catholic, Patterson, New Jersey. And then also you have Roderick Rhodes from St. Anthony's of Jersey City.
And Hubie Brown from New Jersey.
Well, I got to get him in.
I know.
You realize the pressure?
Brevin Knight behind the court, stripped away out of bounds, and it is still East ball with 19 on the shot clock. So here's who's in there right now. It is Brevin Knight, along with Ilgauskas and Henderson, 3 Cavaliers, along with Tim Thomas and Keaton Van Horn.
Great hands that time by Williams.
Good fake by Van Horn. Try to get it inside to Ilgauskas. And nice. Daniels from Cato. Cato kept it alive, and Antonio Daniels, who played at Brigham Young, known for 2 former NBA players in Nate Thurmond and Howard Comize. Or I should say Bowling Green. Bowling Green. DGU. Okay, here's Henderson.
Nice shot block that time.
6 on the shot clock for Henderson. Here's Ilgauskas.
Big fella. The big fella's got more than one move.
And Fortson on the other end, so they didn't get back. That's the defensive lapse. Brevin Knight finding Van Horn, who goes through. And it's 33-31 with 3:18 remaining. So 12 for Ilgauskas. Thomas has 5. Jackson with 8, still the leading scorer for the West.
See, I like this. Dave DeBusschere is not going to allow the game to get to be a rat race. He called a quick timeout and says, look, let's get together here right now. Let's play together as a team.
Youngest coach in history of the NBA at age 24 was Dave DeBusschere when he was a player coach for the Detroit Pistons.
And as you know, Dick, back at that time, he was coaching the Pistons and also pitching in the major leagues for the Chicago White Sox, and gave it up when he came with the Knicks. And then after his career, he was the president and general manager of the New Jersey Nets in the old ABA when they won the championships, and then was the last commissioner in the ABA.
And when we said DeBusschere was the last piece in the Knick puzzle in 1970, that was in a deal for Howard Comize, who had played at Bowling Green, as did Nate Thurmond. And when the Knicks got DeBusschere, they won the championship.
Well, he was the solid piece. You think of that front line, Bradley, Reed, and DeBusschere, and in the backcourt you had Frazier, and the championships, you know, you had Barnett the one year, and then we had Earl the Pearl Monroe on the next championship team. It was a great time for basketball in the city of New York. And also a sub on that team at 6'10", a defensive stopper, Bill Jackson.
Yes, Bill Jackson. Looping pass in, Ilgauskas got a piece of it. They try to get Kelvin Cato for an easy lob, nothing doing, but the West has it with 3:08 remaining in the first half, leading the East 33-31. Everyone on the West team has scored. all 8 players. Van Horn got the rebound. Brevin Knight to Ilgauskas. No-look pass to Cedric Henderson, and a 2-point basket. And the Cavaliers showing why they have so many impressive rookies.
Yeah, well, you can see these guys. They really have talent. And then you have a slasher in Anderson. Then you have Kemp posting up. Person, one of the better 3-point shooters that we have in the league.
And Van Horn, the score is tied at 33. And Henderson missed. Ilgauskas missed a tip. Out of bounds. West ball. And the East has made up an 11-point deficit with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Michael Stewart comes back into the game, the Sacramento Kings big man, as well as Bobby Jackson, the point guard.
You're watching the East team. You have to like the quickness and the smartness of Henderson and Ilgauskas. Now we're talking 6'7", 7'3", 2 guys. Everyone passed up on these guys. They move quick.
Daniels inside to Stewart, deflected by Brevin Knight. Good defensive play by the Stanford point guard. Now with the Cavaliers. And a diving shot. Oh, look at that. Jackson was on his back when the ball went through the hoop. And that is Bobby Jackson's basket, the Big Ten Player of the Year last year for the Golden Gophers.
Yeah, and then also, Dick, you know, you can see him right now. He's an exploit. He's always been a scorer. Out of North Carolina, high school basketball, went to junior college for a couple of years. Big Ten, like you said, Player of the Year, and also Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten.
So Bobby Jackson with 11 points. He is the high scorer for the West. Ilgauskas has 12. For the East, there is Van Horn going against 2 defenders, and Keith Van Horn will go to the line. Van Horn was out the first month of the season with a sprained ankle. He was the 2nd pick in the draft by the 76ers, and in a blockbuster deal went to New Jersey.
Well, you have to love his talent. Right now they're playing him as a power forward with Kendall Gill at the small forward, Jason Williams at center. But now that Gatling is back off of his injury, when you think of the Nets with the record they have, 27 wins, and Van Horn missed all these games, and Gatling has missed so many games. Gatling's back. Now they can play Gatling at power forward, move Van Horn over. They are flexible, and they are quick.
Only 3.5 behind the Miami Heat in the Atlantic Division, ahead of the rivals in the metropolitan area, the Knicks. Antonio Daniels with an impressive runner. He started all but 1 game, averaging nearly 9 for the Vancouver Grizzlies. 38-35, the West regaining the lead after the East tied it up at 33. Brevin Knight inside to Henderson, and Cedric Henderson.
Henderson's going to be a guy in this league that you're going to talk about. They run no plays for him. He just backdoors people, gets on the glass, scores in the open floor.
1:19 to go. Daniels hits the shot, and he didn't have control of the ball when he went up with it.
This is a guy who's struggling with his shooting percentage in the NBA. And an interesting thing, he's enjoying playing the off-guard position in this game.
He is. 5 for 6 from the field for Daniels. Well, still to come, the Sony $1 million shot. And who will do it? No one has ever done it. Saul Holzman from Forest Hills, New York, warming up. Kind of an unorthodox delivery. Ernie Grunfeld said before the game, he says, I didn't teach him that shot.
Hey, all I know is that Ernie Grunfeld autographed the ball for the guy, gave it to him as a good luck piece. And with Grunfeld, Holzman, and Stockton from Forest Hills High School, watch out, a dynamite trio.
You know, Forest Hills High School had a lot of fine basketball players, Stuart Hockman and Stu Schachter for many years, and Ernie Grunfeld may be the best ever there.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to have a jump ball with 1:05 remaining in the first half. All 16 players have now scored in the game.
Well, when you get into an all-star game, all you ask the coach to do is to give you equal minutes and a chance to show your wares. And I like what Willis and Dave are doing tonight. They're giving everybody a chance to play, split up the minutes, and let's go from there. Up. We have a little voice calling from the background here around McAdoo and Willis Reed.
You know, he's not a little voice during the games, as you know. No. Sitting in that first row, he's hardly that. Spike Lee, Roderick Rhodes working his way against the taller Van Horn. Maurice Taylor with a bright red Clipper uniform misses, and the rebound by Brevin Knight. 40-38 as the East looking to tie it up for the 2nd time in this first half. They have never led. Here's Van Horn, and he could have given the East the lead. And a foul call Ilgauskas gets hit with it.
Oh, that's a tough call. Anytime that a big guy is standing and holding his position and just reaching straight up in the air, that's very difficult to take.
But we'll accept it. Half a minute remaining, and 21 on the shot clock. 40-38, the West leading here in the 5th rookie game here at the All-Star break. Great block by Ilgauskas on Stewart. That's pretty good. Ilgauskas blocking a 6'10". Taylor with a great feed in to Michael Stewart, who gets the basket. So Stewart, who leads the Sacramento Kings in shooting at 54%, makes it 42-38 the West. Playing for the last shot now. Chauncey Billups. Picked up by Taylor. Time running out, and he won't get it off.
Waited too long.
And that is the end of the first half with the score. The West 42, the East 38. Don't go away. The great Rockettes from the Radio City Music Hall is going to perform, and you'll see it all right here at Madison Square Garden on All-Star Saturday night on TNT.
Hey, help me figure this out. Usually the more gizmos you want, the more money you got to spend. Then there's a Chevrolet Cavalier. It gives you a lot of the same gizmos that make expensive cars.
Away from home, a lot of travel, a ton of games, and he's not getting playing time. Well, that's the toughest thing about the NBA. You got to work through all of these things, and then you got to prove to your coaching staff as well as your peers that you are willing to work for your minutes.
Fortson is fouled and will go to the line. This weekend, NBA fans around the world can get a courtside seat to All-Star Weekend by logging on to NBA.com. 2 robotic cameras allow fans to direct and shoot their own show. Log on to NBA.com, and that camera situated behind us, looking over our shoulders, Mr. Brown. Fortson misses the free throw.
Well, Fortson in 21 minutes a game has given Denver about 9.6 rebounds. You know, he's a 78% foul shooter. When you go back to his career at Cincinnati in 3 years, he's second only to Oscar Robertson in points and rebounds, you know, in the history of their basketball program.
6-point game, the East in front. The East has won the last 2 years.
Look out.
Here is McGrady on a great feed from Brevin Knight.
You always tell guys, when you play guys up front, keep your forearm on there, right in their chest. That way that they can't backdoor you and get to the air. Fortson lost contact with McGrady.
Van Horn, who replaced Ilgauskas in the lineup, picks up the loose ball. Quick pass out to McGrady. Goes around Roderick Rhodes and stuffs it through. 18-year-old Tracy McGrady, who has played in 31 of the 47 games the Raptors have been in. And the biggest lead of the game for the East now, double digits, 10 points, 73-63. Alvin Williams.
He just pushed off. Bad offensive foul.
Jackson Fortson with another offensive rebound and a conversion. Kind of like Danny Fortson, only 6'7", but playing much bigger inside.
Dick, 260 pounds on that frame. He's really a horse in there.
Cedric Henderson with 14 points. He is out of Memphis and the 45th pick in the draft, so there's another player not chosen in the first round. 75-65, the East by 10. 3:45 remaining in the second half. Roderick Rhodes on the miss, and Rhodes helps Jackson get it back. Great block by Henderson, and they'll call it out of bounds. It'll be, let's see, West ball, I believe.
What a defensive recovery here by Henderson. You talk about quickness. You know, he's 6'7", but look at the arms. Just watch as he just measures this one, sends it right out of there.
Right now, let's check in with Brian Burwell.
All right, I'm here with another father-son duo with a Hollywood slant, Timothy Hutton and his 10-year-old son, Noah. How many games do you get to go here?
Pardon me?
How often do you get to go see games together?
We go, I don't know, 5 games a year or so, just about.
You must be loving sitting courtside every game, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's a blast.
Who's your favorite player out here?
Out here right now, Chauncey Billups.
And how about tomorrow night with the All-Stars?
Penny Hardaway is my favorite all time.
How about you?
Tomorrow I go with Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill. It's great to see Van Horn out here. It's great to watch.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go back to Dick.
All right. The Huttons enjoying, father and son enjoying All-Star Saturday night. And the three-point basket before made by Alvin Williams, and here is Kelvin Cato on the free throw.
You know, Dick, there are two other players who are starting on NBA teams right now, second-round draft picks, who are not in this game. Anthony Johnson out of the College of Charleston, a 6'3" point guard, is starting for Sacramento. He was the 40th pick in the draft. And then for Denver, Eric Washington, second-round pick, 47th guy, starting for Denver out of the University of Alabama. So that's saying a lot here now, Dick, for second-round draft picks, because we have some, you know, guys in this game, second-round picks, who are doing a good job.
Henderson misses the lay, and they are. And, of course, the lottery picks, not automatic that if you're a lottery pick, you're going to play in this game.
That's right.
Here is Roderick Rhodes down the middle. Roderick Rhodes, 3 years in Kentucky, transferred to USC. Keith Van Horn with the fake and the lay-in. And the East leading 77-72. It's a 5-point game, the East leading with 2:47 to go. And Jackson, no, that was Fortson who slammed it through. And they give the basket to Kelvin Cato. So Cato now with 9 in the game. I tell you, this game picking up in pace in the last 2:35.
Well, what's happening here is this guy Cato refuses to come over half court, okay? What he does is he gives you that wave at one end of the floor. Everyone runs down the other end, and he hangs around half court. The shot goes up in his steal, and he takes off. So we're wondering, whoa, boy, he must be running and filling. No, it's because he hasn't crossed half court yet defensively.
Michael Stewart has replaced Cato in the middle for the West All-Stars.
Someone's saying out there, why be so cruel? I'm just stating a fact.
That's why you're here. Chauncey Billups will come into the game replacing McGrady, so the East team will have Brevin Knight and Chauncey Billups, 2 point guards, along with Cedric Henderson, Ron Mercer, and Keith Van Horn. So 2 point guards in the game for the East. They lead by 3. Their lead has been cut down. We're up by as many as 10.
Well, you have to go into Van Horn. Come on, he's got Bobby Jackson down there. You have to see that.
6'1", guarding 6'10", and a good play by Stewart. Now here's Van Horn, and a foul by Rhodes from behind.
You know, it's one thing that is missing. You know, you can run pick and roll all you want, but when people switch, you have to understand mismatches. Now, Van Horn, Bobby Jackson has given Van Horn 10 inches in here right now. So will you please go down inside to the guy? He's going to shoot up over the top of him, take him to the rim, and if he fouls him, a great shooter, a potential 3-point play.
And Danny Fortson leaves the game for the West squad. Ilgauskas has come in the game. Free throw is missed by Van Horn, the second one. It's 78-74, the East lead. Van Horn with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Making a bid for MVP. It'll be interesting what they do. Ilgauskas has 18.
Nice.
And there is Stewart on the feed from Jackson. Under 2 minutes to go, and it's a 2-point game. The East in front, 78-76.
Ilgauskas went for the shot block, and the offensive player, Stewart, came right up on the other side of the rim.
Van Horn misses. A couple of big guys inside, but it winds up into the hands of Roderick Rhodes. And the West, they can tie it up or take the lead if they hit a 3 with 1:39 remaining in the second half of the rookie game. Maurice Taylor missing from the corner.
Yeah, he's been leaving the outside shot short all night long. Inside, he's problem.
Van Horn stucks it through. So Keith Van Horn, who had only 6 points at the end of the first half, now with 17 to give the East a 4-point lead. Daniels challenging Ilgauskas, thinks better of it. Daniels driving through. Fine play. Antonio Daniels from Bowling Green.
He's having an excellent night tonight. He's shown us everything. The perimeter game, off the drive, will challenge the shot blockers down inside, and he'll make the pass.
Father, a former member of the Harlem Globetrotters, and Daniels might have fouled Chauncey Billups. See if that is a 3-point shot coming up for Billups. 54.6 on the clock, and a 2-point lead for the East, and Chauncey Billups on the free throw line. So this game coming down to the wire, as it has the last 2 years. The East won by 5 last year at Cleveland, and by 2 years ago at San Antonio. Tim Thomas will replace Brevin Knight for the East.
Well, the MVP awards: 94 Penny Hardaway, 95 Eddie Jones, 96 Damon Stoudemire, 97 Allen Iverson.
I don't think it'll be a point guard this time.
I agree. Yeah, we've had some guys up front do some nice things here tonight.
A few. Huh? They're going to redo that first free throw. There was a lane violation. Billups misses the free throw, and the rebound by Taylor. Daniels has it. 19 on the shot clock, 47 plus on the game clock. 3-point East lead.
2 possessions here now.
Daniels loses it, and Chauncey Billups has Henderson ahead of the field. Here is Cedric Henderson. Misses the layup. Tim Thomas with the tip-in and a 5-point lead for the East. And here's Bobby Jackson. He definitely is an MVP candidate. He misses a 3. Billups the rebound. Runs into Jackson, who gets it away. Great play. And Michael Stewart, who was a ball boy for 2 years with the Sacramento Kings, brings the West to within 3.
Now, with only 21 seconds, you cannot allow them to run the clock out here. There you go.
Ilgauskas throws it away. Rhodes for 3. And the rebound, Thomas. It is a 3-point game.
Gotta foul him.
And they do, as Jackson fouls Tim Thomas with 12.2 seconds remaining in the game.
West is over the limit.
Oh, this is just a great play. As Jackson goes to the floor, he takes the ball away from Billups and then goes through his legs, feeds the ball up for a score.
12.2 on the clock, and Thomas will go to the free throw line. He's got 2 at the free throw line from Villanova. Playing with the Philadelphia 76ers, has started 13 games for them.
Now we have a 4-point spread. Of 5, it's over. So we always say with 4, we never assume that they're not going to foul a guy taking a 3 for a 4-point play, since it's happened 125 times or more in the NBA.
Jackson's 3-point attempt an air ball, and with 3.9 to go, it's going to be the East winning for the 3rd straight year, taking this rookie game at Madison Square Garden. And the final score in the 5th annual Schick rookie game, the East rookies beat the West by a score of 85-80. For the East, Ilgauskas had 18 points and 7 rebounds. Keith Van Horn had 17 points and 10 rebounds. Cedric Henderson, 14 points. And it was Bobby Jackson with 15, followed by Antonio Daniels with 14 for a well-balanced West team. And right now, let's send it over to Brian Burwell.
Thanks a lot, Dick. Zydrunas, you are the first foreign-born MVP of the rookie game. How does that feel?
It feels great. I had a lot of fun in this game, and I'm just going to continue to work hard and hope I'm going to get better.
Now, you know, the guy who won it last year ended up as the Rookie of the Year. You think that's possible?
No, I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm just working hard. I just want to win games for my team. That's it.
What do you think the folks back in Lithuania are saying right now? Are you the new Arvydas Sabonis?
I don't know. They're just happy for me. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go on back to Dick.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. So Zydrunas Ilgauskas, 8 of 10 from the field, the most valuable player in the game.
Also a participant in 2-ball competition, the shootout, and tomorrow's All-Star game. Is there any other event you would like to participate in?
Maybe we can get a layup drill going.
Well, I know you were hoping for the sweep, but unfortunately it didn't turn out that way in 2-ball, but 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
2 out of 3 would be great. I'm going to try and go out there and finish up strong.
All right, let's talk about the competition in shootout. Who are you looking, or who has you looking over your shoulder?
I think you definitely got to keep Dale Ellis in mind and Reggie Miller, and also I think the sleeper very well could be Tracy Murray.
All right, what score should win it?
17 or 18 should do it.
17 or 18, we'll see if that happens. Let's go back to you, Dick Hubie.
All right, Cheryl, thank you very much, and good luck to Glenn Rice. But coming up, we will have the Sony $1 Million Shot, Saul Holzman with Muggsy Bogues. It'll all unfold in a moment.
Big round of applause for Saul Holzman. Take
the ball back, follow through, make sure you have the march on the ball.
$1 million courtesy of Sony.
Everybody ready?
Take your best shot.
I won't be mad one bit. I'm proud of you. Getting this far. All right? Got all the time in the world. And don't shoot until you're ready. Look at your feet. All right? Don't shoot until you're ready. Look at your foot. Look at your foot. Move it back. There you go.
Sony and the National Basketball Association thanks Joel Holtzman for presenting the Sony MD $1 million shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hubie, he got a lot closer than a lot of people thought looking at that style, and he hit the rim, and a lot of people who have been in this have not hit the rim.
Absolutely, Dick. And, you know, it's an unorthodox style, but you can see he's comfortable with it. And where we showed you, we did it on the Regis Philbin show, you can see it just drips on him to the left of the rim. But you know what? He's in it, and he has the right attitude. Everything that he said before the shot was wonderful, and he said that the pressure and the excitement, it's the second most exciting thing in his life. The birth of his twin daughters, who are now 6 years old, was first, and this was just kind of, you know, overpowering for this guy.
Makes me a little nervous. Watch your feet and everything. I would have said, look, let me take the shot. And, you know, with all of these fans, and there's his family cheering him on, you know, just to come as close as he did with all of the pressure that kept building here.
Isn't that wonderful? See, that's what's great. The love of the family, the wife and the kids, the whole routine. And that's what he's been talking about. And you can see that it is all for real.
And Ernie Johnson will tell you a little later what rewards he will get for missing but appearing in the finals. Right now, let's go over to Craig.
Well, thank you very much, Dick. Well, Sal, as Dick and Hubie were saying, everybody seemed to be rooting for you. You seemed to fight off the pressure, and darn if it wasn't close.
Yeah, I'm still a winner. I had a great time. I have a beautiful daughter, a beautiful wife. Muggsy's been great to me. Regardless of the outcome, I still feel like a winner.
All right, Robin, tell us what it was like for you. I know as soon as he missed, you still ran up there and hugged him and gave him a kiss with your daughter.
Well, you know, Saul is everything to me, and I think he gave it his best shot. And we have a car, and we have the start of their scholarship fund. We had a great time. We love all of you for giving us the opportunity to experience New York the way we have. It allowed everybody, you really reflected us beautifully, and thank you to all the media.
And here you are, a lifelong Knicks fan standing at center court with the eyes of the world on you.
Feels great. I want to thank Sony for everything they've done for us. I'm still going to watch the Knicks. Maybe not on the floor, but I'll be up there watching them.
All right, congratulations. All right, here we have Jessica and Hilly. What do you guys think of Dad? Did he do a good job?
Yeah.
Are you proud of him?
Yeah.
All right, Jessica, how about you, Hilly? What are you guys going to do sitting in that brand new convertible now? That's going to be great, isn't it? You want to go on a vacation?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
To Florida.
South Florida. Well, they want you to go to Disneyland anyway. They already got miles in that car already. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
You know, the little one didn't know what a convertible was, but she'll find out sooner or later. That is the most poignant moment I think we'll have of All-Star Saturday night, even though Saul Holtzman missed. Well, we've got the finale coming up next, the AT&T Shootout, with a lot of great contenders, including Reggie Miller and Charlie Ward, all coming up next here in New York.
NBA All-Star on Saturday night continues on TNT. They're gonna shoot the lights out.
Honestly, attracting attention's never really been a problem for me. Until now. You see, I had this Sony Mini Disc stereo installed in my car. It lets me play my own recordings. Like this one. I recorded this MD myself. Very cool. So cool, like I said, it's attracting a lot of attention. Like magnets to a refrigerator door.
The recordable, virtually unshockable Sony Mini Disc.
Oh, yeah.
Get one for your car. You know you want it. Make it down to your Sony dealer and make it.
It's all good. Where else you gonna get a show like this? What's he talking about?
UPN 47. The place to be. The Red Tag Sale is going on now at Mike Davidson Ford at Regency. Every new and used truck, van, and sport utility is deeply discounted. 98 Escorts starting at $97.98. No payments till spring. That's right, no money down. The Red Tag event at Mike Davidson Ford. Just sign and drive today. Every credit application will be accepted. Financing as low as 0.9% APR. New 98 Mustangs starting at $10,888. Red Tag prices posted on every vehicle. Hurry to Mike Davidson Ford at Regency now.
I'm in a New York state of mind. I've seen all the movie stars in their fancy cars and their limousines. Been high in the Rockies, under the Evergreens. I know what I'm needing. I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind.
Well, the night gets 2 thumbs up so far. Soon the stage will belong to the long-range artists. The AT&T Shootout is coming up next. Now, you saw the Sony MD $1 million shot by Saul Holtzman. Boy, a great effort. Drew iron and everything. Misses out on the $1 million, but does receive a 1998 Pontiac Sunfire convertible, and Sony will contribute $5,000 to each of the Holtzman's twin daughters' college funds. What a great family moment here on All-Star Saturday night here on TNT. Meantime, an Olympic update for you. The first major competition in Nagano, the men's downhill, was canceled because of heavy snow and fog. They will try to run that tomorrow as the Olympics get underway in Nagano. And, of course, TNT is your exclusive cable home for coverage of the games from Nagano, the 18th Olympic Winter Games. Jim Lampley, your host. Our coverage on TNT continues tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. As far as the NBA goes, we're back at you on Tuesday night. The Sonics taking on the Rockets on TNT. The next night on TBS, the Sonics and the Spurs from San Antonio. And on Friday, the Pistons taking on the Heat from Miami Arena. So the AT&T Shootout approaches, and it's once again time for shift change down there courtside. We got 3 new guys down there, and 2 of them can really shoot. Bob Neal, Doc Rivers, and Reggie Theus.
We know who the 2 are, Doc.
Yes,
you and Bob.
In that order. Yes. He could dunk. That's all I have to say about that. Welcome back to the three-point shooter. Doc and I were just talking. We're still excited about the 2 ball. It was a good time. We did fire Reggie, though, who was coaching Sacramento. I thought you had a lot of talent and a few coaching problems.
Oh, no. We hit all the spots. They just didn't make a shot from all the spots. Hey, I can take them to it, but I can't shoot it for them.
That's what bad coaches say. I think he's this. That's what I think. Let's have a look at the participants now in the three-point shootout. It's a wide-open field this year. Glenn Rice won it in 1995. Reggie Miller, Cheryl's Bubba. 5th time in the competition, been a bridesmaid twice. Dale Ellis, 7th year to enter, won it in 89. Hornacek, 3rd in threes in the league. Sam Mack, 4th in the league at 44% out of Vancouver. Tracy Murray, a dark horse in the minds of a lot of people. He's a streak shooter, hit 7 in a row in a game earlier this year. Hubert Davis from New York and now Dallas, 2nd time in the competition. Charlie Ward, 1st time. He's shooting at 43%. Charlie Ward is the hometown favorite, of course, playing for the Knicks. Let's take a look at the court and how it's set up, and Reggie, just take it through us.
Well, I tell you what, it's 5 balls per rack, and that's a lot of balls to shoot. The big one always being the money ball. I tell you what, he who hits the money ball wins this game. 9 seconds per rack, 1 second per shot. And I tell you what, the shooters have a hard time because at the end of that, they could be pretty tired.
All right, let's take a look here at the rules. 60-second shot clock. This started in 1986. If you're a regular All-Star Saturday night, you know these rules. Brown ball's worth 1, the multicolored bar 2. That means there's 6 points per rack for a total of 30 maximum. Each round scored separately. They don't advance the scores. Top 4 players go to the semis, 2 players to the finals. 24-second shootout to break ties, and we have had some ties before. Now, Doc, Tell us about who you think your favorites are and give us a little player's perspective.
Well, I look at the favorites as first Dale Ellis. The guy shot 50% from the field. He should be in the finals or close. Glenn Rice, a pure shooter. And the last one is Reggie Miller, a guy who loves this New York stage. One thing I want you to know, the line has been pushed back from last year. And the other thing is all three of those guys I picked were big. And I think that's going to play big time. Last year, small guys had a chance because the line was closer. Big guys will dominate or should dominate this thing.
Okay, we're going to come back and get picks in just a moment. Right now, let's go to Cheryl Miller. Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Bob and Reggie. It has been 2 years since you've been in this competition. Size up the competition for you.
It's a tough field. You got former champions in here in Dale Ellis and Glenn Rice. Everyone's saying the sleeper is Tracy Murray, but everyone wouldn't be here if there wasn't a shooter, so everyone has an odds-on favorite.
I know Charlie Ward, this is his house, but you have had some memorable games here. You expect another memorable event here in the Garden.
Well, I am somewhat shooting at my alternate site, my alternate home, so I look forward to it.
All right, the talking heads say that you've always been a bridesmaid, never a bride. Can you silence the critics right now for me?
Well, hopefully I can throw the garter over my head and get the championship.
All right, kid, congratulations. Not congratulations yet, but good luck. Let's go back to you, Bob, and the two talking heads.
Of course, I was the one who said that he was the bridesmaid. And not the guys he'll be mad at. By the way, Cheryl, your Freudian slip there was pretty clear when you congratulated him on winning. So we're going to right away figure that you're picking Reggie Miller.
We caught it.
It's time for us to pick. Reggie Theus.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
Well, you know what? I tell you what, I'm going out on the limb. I'm going with Sam Mack because Sam Mack has the most to gain from this. You can remember Craig Hodges, remember Legner. These are guys that were really non-existent. You win this, you go big places. Sam Mack, I tell you what, 48% of his shots during the regular season are from behind the arc. Think about it.
Okay, my pick, I can't, Sam Mack. Okay, that's a long shot. But that's Reggie Theus. He takes the risk. Yeah. My pick is, talk about the shortest shot, Glenn Rice, former champion. He's hot right now, shooting 40-plus. And Doc?
I'm going to go with Cheryl's little brother, Reggie Miller, because he loves this stage.
Pushing up the noise right now.
Yeah. Remember the Broncos.
We'll be right back.
The underdog.
AT&T long-distance shootout from Madison Square Garden.
When one is competing for the eye of the judges, one must keep a firm leash on older.
And your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Nike.
Bring in the shootout. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the competitors in the 1998 AT&T Shootout. He ranks third among active NBA players in three-point shooting percentage. From the Dallas Mavericks, Hubert Davis. The NBA's all-time leader in three-point goals made from the Seattle Supersonics, Dale Ellis. He leads the Jazz in three-point shooting percentage from Utah, Jeff Hornacek. One of the NBA's most accurate three-point shooters from the Vancouver Grizzlies, Sam Mack. The number 2 player in total career three-pointers and one of this year's All-Stars from the Indiana Pacers, Reggie Miller. He had the league best three-point shooting percentage in the 93-94 season from the Washington Wizards, Tracy Murray. The 1995 AT&T Shootout champion. Hopes to become the 4th two-time winner in event history. You'll see him in tomorrow's All-Star game from the Charlotte Hornets, Glenn Rice. This guard leads his team in three-point shooting percentage and steals. From your New York Knicks, Charlie Ward! Ladies and gentlemen, the 1998 AT&T Shootout competitor.
All right, there are our competitors. The winner gets $20,000. Second place, 10. Third, $5,500. Fourth, $25,000. And all contestants get at least $1,000 for the AT&T long-distance shootout that started back in 1986. And the winners have been Larry Bird 3 times in a row, Craig Hodges 3 times in a row, Mark Price twice, Steve Kerr, Tim Legler were the last winners consecutive in the last 2 years. Neither are in this competition. And Tracy Murray and Charlie Ward are going to be our first 2 competitors. Tracy Murray is an excellent three-point shooter with the Washington Wizards. He has made 79 threes this year. He made 7 at the MCI Center in one of the ball games this year. And Charlie Ward is the all-time three-point percentage and made and attempted three-point shooters in the history of Heisman Trophy winners.
Yeah, that's a good point. I tell you what, Tracy Murray, here's a guy, his trainer, Kevin Johnson, told me that he worked with Tim Legler before he won it. Now his trainer has worked with Tracy Murray. The key for Tracy, he told me, is to keep the balls on the right-hand side so he can shoot it that way and watch his rhythm.
All right, remember, 6 points a rack, total of 30. They have 60 seconds.
I tell you what, Charlie Ward has been in a slump, but he's got it going on now. The last 10 games, he's only been 6 for 36 from behind the arc.
So this is an easy shot for Tracy Murray. One thing about Murray, he's a street shooter. If he gets on the street, watch out. He's a dark horse to me in this tournament.
Charlie Ward said he's already come over 1 odd, and that's a non-shooter being in this tournament. All he's got to do is get 1 more.
That's also a quarterback being in the NFL and the NBA.
Big 2 ball there by Ward.
Charlie Ward is a jump shot shooter. See how high he gets on his shot? Very important for him on his elevation.
One thing he told me, and he's gonna finish. Charlie Ward told me he wasn't worried about finishing. He said he just wants to make shots.
It's a big ball for Charlie.
Yeah, big shot. Charlie Ward with the 2 ball at the end. Remember, these shooters are not competing against each other. They're competing to have one of the 4 highest scores out of the 8 because the top 4 advance to the semifinal. And there's Charlie's money ball.
Bang, baby.
And you can see Murray following through. Here's his money ball. Big shots.
So Charlie Ward with the advantage when those 2 shot. Next up, we will have Reggie Miller and Sam Mack. But right now, you see the lights on the left side of your screen at the top. 12 for Murray, 15 for Ward. Now, when this line was in last year, 17 would be one of the lowest scores in the round. But when it's 23-9, 17's a pretty good score.
It really is. Charlie Ward had a nice score for a first round. He has an excellent shot of advancing. And Reggie Miller is just, I mean, we don't have to talk much about his shooting, especially when you talk about being in the Garden. I think this is important for Reggie Miller.
But, you know, Reggie Miller has had some big nights in this gym.
Yes, he has. Against me.
Well, that would have been easy. But watch Sam Mack, fellas. Keep your eye on the big fella over there. He shoots, remember, Sam Mack shoots 48% of his balls in regular season from behind this arc, so it's no big deal for him. And look at his stroke, Doc. He's stroking it real nice. Big shot.
Missed the 2.
Big shot.
So did Mack.
Both are really struggling right now. Both of them will have to go on a row to stay alive.
Yeah, you've got to beat 12 just to stay in the top.
The big shot.
Yeah, Sam's got the big one over here. This is a big rack for Sam. This is the spot where he likes to shoot from. Oh, heartbreak.
Sam Mack's going to have a tough time finishing if he doesn't hurt. He shoots the ball a little bit slow, and that's to his disadvantage, but taking your time is important. Oh.
There's the money ball for Sam Mack.
Big shot. Huge shot. Sam Mack still in the game, baby. That's my guy. You know what? I'll tell you, the reason I like Sam Mack, I love these guys. This is a huge forum for him, guys. If he wins this, he's playing in a place where he doesn't get much attention. If he wins this, he gets a couple of endorsements too, guys.
It really made the endorsement career of Craig Hodges.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really did. These last two shots were huge for Sam Mack.
Reggie Miller. Here's Reggie Miller.
Well, it's funny. One of the things Reggie Miller told me, he said he was worried about the first round. He said if I can get through the first round, he was guaranteeing me he was going to win it. He has some problems.
That's going to be tough.
Come on, here's an olive branch, Doc. What do you want me to do for you?
Next up.
I'm not hearing it, Doc.
I don't know.
Doc's not talking.
No.
Next up, Glenn Rice and Dale Ellis, two former winners.
Yeah.
Dale Ellis, this will be his 7th appearance in the competition, and Glenn Rice won it in 1995. And Dale Ellis is, for all practical purposes, the designated shooter for the Supersonics. And Glenn Rice is having a tremendous season.
He's had 2 tremendous seasons in a row now. When you have them back-to-back, that means you're a great basketball player.
Well, Dale Ellis in this history shows that he's either on fire or he's really cold, but he's got a great stroke. One of the purest three-point shooters in the game ever. He's got over 1,000 to his credit and shoots 50% from the arc during regular season.
The thing I like about Dale Ellis, Reggie, is he doesn't really bend his knees like most shooters do. He's so big he does. He gets the lift, but he's a straight up and down shooter with great upper strength. Glenn Rice just has fluid control of the ball. Watch his follow through.
No
it's
question.
Unbelievable.
And he's one of these guys that follows the ball through the net.
Yeah.
If you're watching as he raises his head, he's looking at the ball and his arc. He probably sees the seams as it's going down the hole.
Rice is 3 out of 3 on the money ball. He'll certainly need it. And 4 out of 4 is right.
He makes the right
one. You bet.
For all you kids out there, take a look at Dale Ellis' offhand when he let go of the ball. Look at that. The release is so perfect.
So that last shot put Rice in the final so far. That was a big shot by Rice. Didn't get to the money ball.
Didn't get to the money ball on the final rack. So Dale Ellis, looking like the machine gun shooter that he can be, got on fire in the second half. And let's look at Dale Ellis.
And watch how beautiful his shot is. All you kids learning how to shoot the jumper. Ball right in front of his face. Elevate, shoulders square, and look at his release.
I think even more important, Reggie, he never looks at the ball. All he does is look at the rim. Just watch Dale Ellis shoot the ball. He's paying no attention to where the ball is going. He has his eyes focused on the rim.
And, Doc, that comes from being experienced in this event. He knows the rack. He understands how to play this game.
And you see now the top 4 are Ellis with 18, Ward 15, 14 for Mack, and 13 for Rice. That means Miller and Murray are already eliminated. And now the final 2 in this first round. Again, they're not shooting against each other. They're shooting to try to become one of the top 4 with points to advance to the semifinals. Hubert Davis from Dallas, former New York Knick, and Jeff Hornacek from the Utah Jazz.
Reggie, you think it's an advantage going last? Now you know a score that you can chase for these 2 guys?
We've just had an update, a correction on one of the scores. They changed Tracy Murray to now he has 14 points. So keep that straight with what the totals are to beat as we go into the final in the first round.
Tell you what, Hubert Davis is the guy who practices more than anybody in this gym as far as shooting.
I tell you what, Jeff Hornacek, when you look at him, everything could be a positive for him this time because the last time he was at this event, Doc, he only got 7 points.
Hubert Davis is on a roll. I'm telling you, Hubert Davis right now is on fire.
Well, Jeff Hornacek said that last year he tried to copy Danny Ainge's strategy and shoot just standing set shots. He said this year he's going to shoot it in his own rhythm and not worry about it.
And Hubert Davis hit 8 in a row before he missed.
Yeah, now you know what happens. Both of these guys started out on fire, and it looks like they're wearing down a little bit. Hornacek is in it for sure.
Well, Jeff Hornacek is really doing a great job because he has the lowest score.
Hubert needs the money ball.
Got it.
Shot.
Hubert got got it. Around the rim, off the board, and back in for Hubert Davis. So now, let's look at the finals here. I believe Davis has 15.
Yes. I tell you what, that's Jeff Hornacek. Look at this. Last year, he shot all set shots. This time, he said, I'm going to shoot my regular jumper. I talked to him before this, and he said, I didn't practice one time. I had something else on my mind. Just before this All-Star break, we had to play the Bulls.
Yeah, you know, he told me he tried to practice, and they didn't have a ball rack. So he laid him on the floor and started shooting around. He said it just wasn't the same, so he stopped shooting.
He said, I'll tell you something else he said was really interesting. He said that this year, he had to think of the clock, and he had somebody calling the times out.
Okay, there are the semifinalists. Dale Ellis, 18, Hornacek, 17, Davis and Ward both with 15. They advance. Murray, Mack, Miller, Rice, eliminated. We'll be back with the semifinals in just a moment from the AT&T Shootout.
It's NBA All-Star Saturday night on TNT.
It was just another night at Fun Police headquarters. Fun Police.
Slow down offense at Lincoln High.
Buck, slow down offense. Call 20-second timeout. We're on our way. This is Unit 21. Possible boy basketball game in progress.
Yo, Unit 10 on the way. We copy that.
What's up, dog?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's go, baby. I got it. Right, you having fun now?
It was just one game, one town. The job of the Fun Police is never done.
If you've been getting those phone stickers, you may be getting a little confused. So allow me to simplify. I love stickers. Okay, but if you're calling anywhere in America or anywhere around the world, most calls from home will cost you less with AT&T One Rate and One Rate International. So you're saying the sticker... I'm saying if you use those stickers, you can get a little sticky. You might get stuck paying more with those stickers.
Yeah, I know, I got that. But I love stickers.
Never been more frightened in my life.
In America and around the world, the AT&T One Rate plans.
I will not rest until I have nailed Old Glory to the North Pole.
They dedicated their lives to a journey that reached beyond anyone's imagination.
So every man for himself.
Two men bound together only by their obsession to be the first team to get to the North Pole.
This place is big enough for both of our dreams.
Glory and honor. See it for the first time anywhere. Sunday, March 1st at 8 p.m. Only on TNT, the best movie studio on television.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. NBA on TNT and TBS Superstation have been here all week with EA Sports at the Jam session, putting on a Play the Pros challenge. Rookies Tim Duncan and Chauncey Billups got in some practice time with EA Sports NBA Live 98. You were over there, Reggie.
I was over there, had a great time with these guys. Win that? You know what? Billups, Chauncey was working him.
Was he for real?
He was working him, and then the big fella got hot.
Yeah.
And said, Chauncey, you can't breathe from out there.
Here are our four semifinalists.
Just what we thought, right?
That's exactly.
That's the guys we picked. So now let's pick a winner out of here.
All right, I'm taking Hornacek.
All right, good pick. All right.
Go ahead,
and that's
Bob.
the guy I had in the beginning.
Yeah, that's right.
It's his 7th time. He's the oldest guy here. I'm the oldest guy here at the table.
You are,
barely.
by far.
Dale Ellis.
Well,
that's the guy you had, right?
Yeah. I had
this
Dale.
Is tough for me because I played with Charlie Ward and I played with Hubert Davis. So I want to go with both. I'm going to go with Hubert Davis.
Yeah, he was hot in the first part of the first round. Here are the first round numbers for Charlie Ward. You see that he had the big racks, none really big, on 3 and 5.
Well, I tell you what, Charlie Ward, the last 10 games, like I said, was only 6 for 36, coming out strong in this three-point competition.
Well, slump no more
slump
for Charlie Ward.
And this can start off the second half of the season big for him. The Knicks sure could use it.
Remember, the scores don't transfer. They start counting anew in the semifinals. Not a good start for Joe.
No, it really wasn't.
This is more his spot, though. You don't see him in the corner much.
Well, Charlie Ward, I think he's feeling a little bit of the pressure.
Although he knows pressure, quarterback at Florida State, Major League Baseball prospect, basketball player, he knows pressure.
Hey, pressure, playing for the Knicks. He does know pressure.
Right now, Doc, struggling. There goes a little bit of your theory of the big guys being able to shoot from out there better. Charlie Ward, a leg shooter. Notice how high he gets up on his shot. Not always the best guys to shoot this because they get tired toward the end of the game.
If he can make a couple, if he makes this one,
which he does,
yes, that gives him 11, and you never know.
You don't, because remember, the scores don't transfer. They're not cumulative, so it's a brand new game.
I thought he got tired. Yeah. He started slow, and then he got tired, and that combination killed him.
And officially, he does have 11 points. Charlie Ward with 11. Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Now, Charlie, I know this is home court. Had a terrific first round. Second round came around. How did you feel?
Well, you know, shots didn't go down, but it's a good experience for me.
Was it a little easier or more difficult than you thought, the competition?
Actually, I thought I would be nervous, but I wasn't.
You weren't nervous? All right, let's go back to you guys at the table.
Why should he be?
How can he be nervous?
He's played here before, right?
And he'll always have the Heisman.
Boy, he will.
Up next, Hubert Davis. Remember, Hubert hit 8 in a row at one point in the first round.
Hubert Davis. Hubert is so good, he's decided to shoot with his sweat top on.
Larry Bird, take notice.
Everyone is. I think the start for all the little guys left is crucial. And
That's
Hubert
a big
takes
start.
advantage of it.
That's a big start. I was talking to him before, and he was real quiet about it. That made me think he was very serious.
He's quiet all the time.
Hit 6 in a row before he missed there.
But he's making the money ball, Reggie, and that's key.
Very key. And again, another leg shooter doing well in the three-point contest.
Oh, yeah, he's
rolling. He is rolling.
I guess we can clarify this and say he is now on fire.
Yes, he is. Look at this. You know, when it's managed like Charlie Ward, Hubert Davis plays with the Knicks. He ran the rack. Is rolling. He's going for all-time best right now.
Oh, my.
Hubert Davis, money ball. Got it. 23.
That is impressive. That is impressive.
I'm glad I picked him.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked him.
Remember, the all-time record in any round is 25 by Craig Hodges. The highest score in the semifinals, 24, so he certainly...
And right here, Bob, he ran the rack.
Let's go to Cheryl and Hubert.
Hey, Bob, and he's not even broken a sweat. And Hubert, this must be home away from home.
This is home away from home, and I'm tired. I'm going to go down and get some water. I'm tired.
Hey, was the first round more comfortable than the second? Because the second one, you were just as potent.
Well, I felt better in the second round. The first round, I just wanted to get out of there. I didn't want to embarrass myself, so it was a lot of fun out there, and I'm just going to go out there and see what I can do.
Looks like that score will stand. Let's go back to you, Bob.
Okay, Hubert Davis with 24 points, hit 11 in a row at one point, and was 5 for 5 on the two-point money
You
ball.
got to remember, in the first round, he made 8 in a row. So far, what Hubert Davis has showed us is that he's a streak shooter, and the second round, he was on a streak a lot longer.
You see that Jeff Hornacek got off to a great start, slumped a little, and then had 6 points, all 6 points on the fourth rack.
Well, Jeff Hornacek told me that he practiced a little bit by listening to the music. He's going to get his rhythm by just concentrating on the music and getting into it.
What kind of music?
A little acid rock.
He is starting to feel it himself.
And you know,
really gets up on his shot.
Well, and he's approaching the rack. He wants to keep the rack on the right side of him. That's why every time he approaches the rack, he goes around the bottom side so he stays in his rhythm hand.
Got the money ball.
Big shot.
2 racks to go. A total of 12 points possible.
You better get it going.
He's got to get one to avoid elimination.
This is big.
Got the money.
Big ball. This is a huge rack for him.
Yes.
That ball eliminated Charlie Ward.
Oh, his legs went on that last shot. The last two shots, his legs left him.
I tell you what, though, 15 is not going to be easy to beat.
Dale Ellis is up next.
Yes, it is.
And he's got to beat 15. Charlie Ward has been eliminated.
But you can see, Jeff Hornacek gets up so high on this shot. And Reggie, you were right. His legs start going towards the end. That hurt him.
That's 3 leg shooters in this tournament, and 3 leg shooters doing well. I tell you what, last year he shot all set shots, and that is one of his kids, counting them up, Allen and Ryan. He's got 6, 7. Come on, Dad.
Yep, he's thinking about a new swing set. Let's go to Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Well, the last 2 racks there, Jeff, look like your legs are about to give out. A little time on the last rack.
Oxygen. Where's the oxygen? That's what happened. I took 3 warm-ups about a week before this competition. That's what happened. The second, third times I got a little tired.
How difficult is it being in this competition and being a jump shooter?
Well, takes a little more out of you. That's why I tried to shoot a little bit of a set shot, and it kind of hurt me there. But biggest key was I didn't make any of the 2-pointers.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to you, Doc, talking about set shot.
Okay, Dale Ellis, who had 18, that's his first round. Remember, the scores don't transfer forward. Dale Ellis needs to beat 15 to achieve the finals.
Look at the backspin on Dale Ellis' shot. You talking about back rotation? I tell you what, he's just got a beautiful shot, whether it goes in or not.
Got 3 points on that rack.
Yeah,
it really does.
His shot is art.
And he's got such a serious look on his face. And again, like we pointed out before, doesn't even look at the rack, keeps his concentration, and the back of his head. He's got a great shot at the back of his head. It doesn't move. No. Put his head on a stick. It don't even move.
That was 5 in a row before a miss by Dale Ellis. See if he goes streaking again, looking for the money ball. Nope, not this time. He's going to
need some. Well, he's got 2 racks, and you know Dale can fill him up quick.
Got to beat 15 to advance.
Oh, boy, this is going to be close. I don't think he's going to finish.
Got a money ball, 10 seconds, 8 seconds. Reggie told us it takes about 9 seconds to empty the rack.
And you really do have to shoot a ball a second.
This is 1. He needs to at least didn't get it out of his hand.
No.
Tied score.
Dale Ellis with 15 and Hornacek with 15. I love this because it's free AT&T shootout ball. That means we're in overtime.
I think this is going to be tough for Dale Ellis. Though he's the bigger guy, he just finished.
That's a good point.
And we have a tie for the second and final.
You said you're in time. The second round kind of got caught up with us.
Well, it's an event you can't practice for, you know. I don't know the time. I didn't want to pay attention to what was going on this weekend. Blocking out, just come shoot. I'm a little winded.
I can tell that. You're breathing very hard there. Let's go back to you guys at the table.
Okay, well, the good news for
Cheryl, get him some water.
He has some time for oxygen because Hornacek is going to be first.
Yeah. I think the guy who might have the biggest advantage is Hubert Davis. He was telling us how tired he was, and now he gets some extra time to rest.
Well, as we said earlier, Doc, and blows it out of the water about the big guys and the set shot shooters, because these are all jump shot shooters.
Except for Dale, who really isn't a jump shot shooter.
That's true. Yeah. He really does shoot a slight jump on his balls, but the other guys are jump shot shooters, and I don't think that we've had total jump shot shooters going in the third round.
What's impressive, Reggie, is that you move the line back, and if you look in the history of the league, in this tournament, it's been big guys. Larry Bird, who's won this. Right now, we got 3 small guys and 1 big guy. I think that is really interesting.
Now, remember, in this shootout, it's the same rules, but only 24 seconds. Top scorer goes to the finals.
Well, this could mean a lot for Jeff because the last time he was in this event, he only got 7 points. And I tell you what, Michael Jordan and Douglas Shrimp are the 2 guys that got the lowest points prior to that.
Well, I think he's going to the finals.
I think so, too.
He is on fire.
Got the money ball.
By the way, did I pick him, guys?
Yeah, I think you did.
And that one counted. The one last shot he took would not have. But unofficially, Jeff Hornacek, who hit 8 in a row,
11 points.
Has 11 points. Now, these 11 points, remember, forget all the previous scores. They don't advance. So Dale Ellis knows what he's got to do. He's got to have more than 11 in 24 seconds. And there, Tyler and Ryan.
Look
The
at
sons of Jeff Hornacek.
They're thinking new bike, new swing set.
They know they're on their way to Disney World.
Away from Dale Ellis. He too will have 24
Well, let's hope Dale Ellis has recuperated.
Boy, I don't think he's
winded
had enough time.
But he only has 24 seconds here. His number to beat is 11.
You know what, with a guy like Dale Ellis, if he hits his first couple of balls, he's capable of not missing, fellas.
Well, he better hit his first couple.
Yes.
Hornacek didn't miss many.
Remember, 6 points available per rack.
I think it's over.
He's looking tired.
He's done.
Well, he has 2.
He's done.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it could get close.
You counted him out too early.
Like I said, he could run him.
Now, he's got to hit him here, though, but look at the clock is running down. He ran. Remember, Dale Ellis didn't lose. He simply ran out of time. Thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness.
So 7 in a row, but only 9 points for Dale Ellis, and that means that Jeff Hornacek advances, and it'll be Hubert Davis from Dallas and Jeff Hornacek from Houston in the finals.
Out here, we negotiate on the court. Somebody coming off the bench to give you a rest? Because I'm busting you down. Come on, put him up. Give it up. Put your hands up off me. Foul me. What foul? Show me the blood.
Cindy Crawford for Kay Jewelers.
This Valentine's Day, give a gift from the heart. Diamonds from Kay Jewelers.
Celebrate your love for her with diamonds. Prices start at just $99.95.
This Valentine's Day, just say Kay.
Wendy's presents Great Moments in Hockey. Flat-face Feldman perfects the hockey style. Well, almost. Now win cars, cash, and great food in Wendy's Go for the Goal game.
I won! You scored!
The new Jeep Cherokee Classic, as seen by the white-tailed Dragonfly, with a refined interior and available select-track full-time four-wheel drive. It's a great way to cross remote territory, no matter how you look at it. Even if you're a green tree frog. Now get Jeep Cherokee and all these features, including air conditioning, at no extra charge.
The sun rises. Records are shattered. Hearts are broken. Heroes are made. Dreams become realities. The sun sets. Just another day in the 1998 Olympic Winter Games. The ultimate daytime drama on TNT. Coverage continues Monday at 1.
NBA All-Star Saturday on TNT is brought to you by Jeep, makers of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler.
Along with Cheryl Miller, Reggie Theus, Doc Rivers, this is Bob Neal back at Madison Square Garden. The finals in the AT&T long-distance shootout. There was a coin toss. Hubert Davis won, elect to shoot first. Remember, Davis hit 8 in a row in the first round and 11 in a row in the semifinals. The scores don't move forward. They'll just start from 0. Top number wins. They have 60 seconds.
Interesting that Hubert Davis won the toss and decided to go first. He's not been in a lot of big pressure situations. I think he said, I want to put the pressure on. Well, Doc, be the guy under the gun.
Well, Doc, in '96 shootout, he made 17 points, didn't advance past the first round. But here's a guy who shoots 43% of his threes from behind the arc, so he definitely can get it going.
Tell you what, he's rushing right now.
Well, it tells me that he didn't want the pressure of knowing what the other guy was going to shoot, huh, Doc?
Yeah, you know, I'd rather have the pressure. I'd rather know a score that I have to beat.
And he's not on pace to finish right now.
Oh, he'll finish because he'll speed up. See, he'll finish.
Well, like we said, it takes...
Yeah, he ought to be able to.
You got to have 9 seconds to finish a rack. He started off this with 12. All he's got to do is shoot a ball a second. He's got it easily.
He needs all 3 of these to have an easy chance.
Got to have this one.
And he got him.
And he did. So unofficially 10 points for Hubert Davis.
But you know, in the final round, that's not an awful score.
No. And you have to remember that after 3 rounds, guys are getting a little leg weary.
Well, I think even more importantly, Jeff Hornacek took 12 more shots than Hubert Davis because he had to go to the shootout. And I think that's an important stat. Jeff said he was tired going into that shootout.
And remember, the last round, Jeff got tired on his last couple of shots as you watch Hubert Davis trying to finish out the big ball and got it in the clutch.
Former New York Knick, now with the Dallas Mavericks, and also with Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Bob Hubert. Last round, 24. 10 this round. How comfortable do you feel with that?
Oh, I don't feel too comfortable at all. Not with Jeff here. He's probably going to beat that. He beat that with 24 seconds, so I'm hoping he gets a little cold out there.
All right, he's hoping he gets cold and has a little faith. Let's see what happens, guys.
Well, Bob, he said something very interesting. He only has 10 points. That means that Jeff can really take his time at each rack. He does not have to finish to beat that amount of points.
Jeff Hornacek, you see what his semifinal score was. Remember, once again, those totals don't advance to this round. He starts with 0.
And I think we can go out on a limb here and say Jeff is sitting pretty if he takes his time.
Well, you remember, he got tired, and you made the point. He shot 12 extra balls. So all he has to do in these first couple of racks is just get a lead.
Ooh,
that's a big ball.
Only 2.
He's got plenty of time. He does not have to rush, but remember, he said that he wants to shoot it in his rhythm, which means he's got to jump hard.
He ran the rack and got the money ball.
He's in great shape.
He's in
All he
shape
needs to do is make 3 balls or 2 and 1 with his money ball.
And he has 30 seconds.
This could be right here. Still hasn't won. If I was him, I would dribble it like a free throw. That's it. He won. And his kids are going crazy right now.
I'll tell you what, he's putting cherries on the sundae now. It's all over. Well, Hornacek is going to be the champion.
And Utah Jazz have been shooting it well all night.
Yes.
Karl Malone in the finals of the 2-ball competition. Excuse me.
Yes. Jeff Hornacek, well, his children, Tyler and Ryan, who've been really cheerleading, come out there to share in the glory. Watch them here.
Look at the emotion. Yes. Boy. That's college. He can pay for their college tuitions now.
At these days, it's $20,000. That's about what, the one semester. Craig Sager.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff. Obviously, talked clear about your past experiences. Reggie said you only got 7 one year. What was the difference this time?
Well, last time I tried to shoot a set shot so I could get all 25 shots off, and this year I just said I'm going to take my normal shot. If I get all 25 off, fine. If I don't, then I just concentrate on the ones I do shoot, and luckily this time I got them all in even when I was shooting the jumper.
Earlier in the 2-ball, your teammate Karl Malone and Tammy Reese got to the finals. He told you he wanted you to win it.
Well, Carl, that's the demanding Carl, whether it's a little competition like this or games. You know, he's got the competitor spirit. He said, we almost did it. You go out there and do it. So I'm just out of the way.
Great individual award, but what about this team? You're beating the Bulls twice this year. Is this the year you can go from the finals and win it all?
Well, we hope so. You know, we have the capability there last year and playoffs last year. Make the big play. We got.
Okay, we lost the microphone there of the interview with Jeff Hornacek, but we didn't lose our video replays of Jeff Hornacek, who becomes the 8th different winner in the 13 years of competition in the AT&T long-distance shootout. Congratulations to Jeff Hornacek of the Utah Jazz.
We were on vacation.
Oh, your sunglasses.
When we realized we were sitting on a gold mine.
Rubber sunglasses.
Too bad none of the stores saw it that way.
So, any more bright ideas?
Actually, yes. Our own way.
The #1 pick overall in the 1997 draft from the San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan.
In
1962, the year he averaged 50 a game. Michael already has the highest All-Star average ever, 21 plus in 10 previous games. But Kareem played in 18 All-Star games and thus has the highest overall point total. And there you see Kobe Bryant in the foreground, the man many have dubbed the next Michael Jordan. Of course, that's a bit silly. There will be no next Michael Jordan, but the combination of skill and flair that Kobe Bryant brings to the game has already captivated the country.
Kobe definitely brings the skill and the flair. You know, he's a very exciting player. He's entertaining. The thing that I'm amazed at a very young age is he already understands how to entertain the fans. And he and Michael Jordan have promised us in their interviews that they will put on a show here today.
East won last year at Cleveland, 132-120. Glenn Rice of the Hornets, with 26 points in the game and a record 20 in one period, was the MVP.
Now, Michael Jordan comes to this All-Star game without Scottie Pippen and without Phil Jackson. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get into his rhythm, because Anthony Hardaway is not known for passing, but more so for scoring.
Here is Michael. The head fake on Garnett. Over him into the lane. The game starts to.
So much for being sick.
Yeah, I think he's okay. He's got the bounce. He's got the skip. He's ready to put on the show here today.
The countdown at 39 early.
Guarded, by the way, by a defender who's 6'11", Kevin Garnett. Peyton into Shaq. For the turnaround on the baseline to tie it at 2.
Well, you got the competition starting early. Everybody's out competing. Everybody wants to put on the show here today. Shaq with the fadeaway J, not known for that, but the players are trying to do things that they normally wouldn't do.
Hill rolls it home. He's averaging better than 21 a game. Always a threat to put up a triple-double for the Pistons.
Nobody has missed yet, Bob. I think that's a lot to do with the fact that so many great players are here. There's the first miss of the day. Kobe Bryant, what a pass by Shaq.
But intercepted by Kemp, who's confronted by O'Neal. The ball out of bounds to the east.
When Michael Jordan curls around off this down screen, he freezes his switched-off defender, and he gets right in the lane. There's no way Kevin Garnett has the lateral mobility to stay with Michael Jordan.
Peyton on Hardaway. Mutombo with the screen, and Penny with the bucket.
Everybody needs their A game tonight. Now let's see now if they can increase the tempo. What normally happens in All-Star games is that there's a lot of one-on-one. Larry Bird has a stretch passing. What we used to do in the 80s. Let's see if they play together as a team and try to increase the competitive level that's happening out there.
Peyton with the spin. Bryant. Kobe's first All-Star hoop.
It's amazing, Bob, when you watch Kobe Bryant practice and work on his game. That ball goes right through the middle of the hoop. There's no luck to those shots. He does have trouble finishing off the dribble, though.
Hill on the drive for his second basket. The East leads it 8-4. Here's Garnett and the Kid, as they call him, in Minnesota.
Everybody wants to see, is waiting to see what Gary Payton and Nick Van Exel has planned when they get into the game. They say they're going to do something special for us, and I want to see what type of tricks Gary Payton got up his sleeve.
Kemp's turnaround spins out. Payton with the rebound. Shaq into the lane, over Mutombo, the ball knocked away and out of bounds. As you know, as well as anyone, Isaiah, even more so than in a regular game, a point guard in an All-Star game holds the fortunes of his teammates in his hands, and how the Paytons and the Hardaways and the Van Exels and the others decide to distribute the ball determines the outcome and the MVP.
Oh, you better believe that those guys were treated well this weekend. Everybody probably took them out to dinner, was buying them gifts and everything because they wanted the ball.
They're begging.
Malone missed, but at the other end comes back for the steal. Garnett had to go up and wasn't in position to handle the pass from Payton. A little schoolyard play, and Payton has it as they set it up. He misses a three badly, didn't draw iron. Hill backing away from Garnett.
Bring it back to Jordan.
Hardaway. And Penny, who's played only 17 games this year, missed almost 2 months with a knee injury, but voted as a starter by the fans, hits again. Shaq muscling it up over Mutombo.
Mutombo doing a very good job of forcing Shaq to the fadeaway. Shaq intent always on getting to that basket.
The thing that I'm impressed about is both teams seem to be playing together. There's a lot of passing, there's a lot of movement, they're cutting on offense, and the teams seem to be running their lanes wide also on a fast break.
And the game's first whistle from Bob Delaney, working the game with Hugh Hollins and Bernie Fryer.
A Laker connection here. Kobe Bryant along that baseline off the back screen by Shaquille O'Neal. That terrific ability to hit that spot-up shot, and then Shaq when he is that deep. Pretty nice defense by Dikembe Mutombo, but that fadeaway jumper's going down. Now, Shaq is from this Newark area. He was over in Newark yesterday visiting all his family over there. He's got an uncle, Stanley Harrison, who's the brother of his father. And very, very sick in the hospital. It's a sad story. Shaq did not able to appreciate and enjoy all the festivities because of the sickness of his uncle there in the hospital.
1 or 2 for Shaq at the line. Jordan from the head of the key. And Malone has the rebound. Pegging it ahead for Bryant. Picked up by Garnett. Back to Kobe.
See that?
And Hill comes away.
See, this is the game where you want to have a lot of oohs and a lot of ahs.
Kemp from Jordan. Fouled as he went up.
You know, it don't matter if you make the shot in a game like this. This is where you want to try everything that you can ever imagine. So this is when you want the fans to go, ooh, ah. You know, Shawn Kemp came to my camp when he was 17 years old, and the size that he is now today is the exact size that he was at 17. He was really a man amongst boys, and he played with the same type of intensity. So you have Kobe coming down right here. Kevin Garnett's giving him the ooh, and Kobe comes back with a ah.
But no.
Sometime in these games, though, there's the opportunity to make a simple play, and they try to put a little bit more on it, and it backfires. That time, Kobe unable to convert.
Well, the timing is off. You know, when you got great players like this playing out on the court, it usually takes them about 5 minutes to adjust to get used to each other's timing and rhythm.
Kemp. The East by 5 at 14-9. Here's Peyton, who had 17 points and 10 assists in a losing cause for the West last year in Cleveland. O'Neal screening for him. He gets it back on the lob, throws a double team. A much better passer than a lot of people realize. This time he tries to take it to the hoop, and he's bumped by Mutombo for the foul.
See, this is what Shaq, you know, normally wouldn't do. But in an all-star game, he wants to take it between his legs and go behind his back.
This year's Lakers, with Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal, the first team since the 1983 Philadelphia 76ers to send 4 of their players to the All-Star game.
So you got Shaq out on the perimeter now, isolating against Mutombo. And he's trying all the moves that he dreamed about when he was a guard growing up. He went between his legs. He just tried to give him a Steve Smith hitch-and-go move.
Hill misses, Kemp rebounds, but loses it. And Garnett is on the end line. It'll belong to the East. A timeout with 5:55 to play in the first, and the East up by 5.
Rockets, Lakers, then Pistons, Bulls, next Sunday.
Stars on the court and in the stands. A lot of A-list folks. Bette Midler performed here on Friday night as part of the All-Star Weekend. Donald Trump, Matthew Broderick with his actress wife, Sarah Jessica Parker, Magic Johnson, Jack Nicholson making an East Coast appearance, and the greatest, Muhammad Ali. And this is the crowd responding to Ali's image on the Jumbotron overhead. As we come back, Jordan takes the quick inbound pass, and his shot rattles out. Here comes Bryant ahead of the field. Reverse slam.
See, that was an ooh and an ah and a clap. See, that's what I'm talking about. In an all-star game, you want to do things that you normally wouldn't do. Kobe understands at a very young age how to entertain.
The great outlet pass started it by Shaq. A lot of centers don't outlet the ball anymore. They want to be involved in their own offense, but Shaq knows how important Kobe's electricity is to the team. Setting him up, the delivery, the spin, what's that, the helicopter?
No, that's called a 360 in-your-face slam dunk at 19.
To be 19. That's when the defenders run to the other end of the court when they see him coming like that at you.
Oh, yeah, nobody wants to play against him nowadays. Everybody is looking at Kobe saying, oh, Kobe's coming to town. Kobe's coming to town. the fans and everybody screaming. Nobody wants anything to do with this kid.
There's a problem with the clock, and that's the reason for the delay, giving us a chance to look at Kobe again.
So you see Kobe gets it here. He plants, he jumps, he spins, and that's the slam dunk in your face.
Last year was Kobe's first All-Star game as a visitor, even though his parents grew up in the NBA.
This is Hardaway to the left hand, and Mutombo with the follow.
But at the NBA 50 celebration last year, Kobe told us, he said that he learned from Earl Monroe and Tiny Archibald that patience is the ultimate key to his long-term success. He had a fabulous time in Cleveland last year, as we all did.
Except maybe in the All-Star game. He looked a little impatient there that last trip down the floor. He's got the ball in his hands again. To Garnett. Back to Kobe!
See, that's the ooh. Kobe and Garnett. You know, two of the youngest, the superstars, keying up, eyeing each other. As they get their tempo and they get their rhythm, the game and the pace will start to quicken. Now they need to push it up the court and keep pushing it and keep pushing it.
Kobe with 6. Hill just a step inside the three-point line, and he has half a dozen.
So you got to make another spectacular play coming back. You can't come down and set it up right now. You just had a spectacular play. Now you got to get the fans into it.
Payton's pass is intercepted by Kemp. Here's Jordan on the wing, slapped away by Payton.
Gary Payton is doing everything he can to set Shaq up.
This time it's Garnett, and now Shaq. Against Mutombo, who makes him change the shot, and finally, they whistle play dead.
Kobe Bryant in transition. He's going to give it up here, and then Kevin Garnett showing that he can pass. And I asked all these players who their heroes were coming up. Isaiah, your name came up all the time, but Kevin Garnett, he said that his favorite player, he wanted to be like Magic Johnson. He's showing it right there, setting up the finish for Kobe well above the rim.
Tim Hardaway in, Penny Hardaway out in the backcourt for the East. There's Tim Hardaway of the Miami Heat on Gary Payton. Hill gets a piece of the pass, and Kemp comes away with it. Kemp pushing it up the floor, takes it in, dumps it off to Hill, and the reverse isn't there, but Jordan stuffs it home.
Now they got to push it up. Somebody got to get it in bounds and push it up quick. That's how you get the fans in it. You can't come down and walk it up right now.
But the big guys for the West aren't running back on defense.
Shaq banks it in.
You know, Shaq has a game when he gets down low. He's strong enough and big enough where he can take a basket. He can gangster a basket.
Shaq with 7. Kemp against Malone, who fouled it.
When you watch Michael Jordan finish plays that other people couldn't, Grant Hill unable to get the reverse layup, and Michael, everybody else is standing. And to me, that's the beauty of Michael Jordan. It's about timing. It's about positioning. Everybody else is going to be down on the floor, not knowing where the ball is, and Michael high above the rim. Everybody else only a spectator.
Jason Williams of the Nets checks in. Jordan, baseline, got it.
The thing that's happening out here today is nobody's double teaming anybody. So you're allowed to display your skills. You're allowed to use all your moves because the coaches wisely have decided not to employ any traps or any double teams.
Bryant for 3. He didn't come here to be bashful.
How much did you listen to your all-star coaches, Isaiah?
Well, I listen to them all the time because I was young and afraid like Kobe Bryant.
Count it, plus the foul for Jordan, who now has 8 and a chance for 9.
But Michael told him, bring your A game. And if you don't bring your A game, I'm going to embarrass you. Michael, get him on the low post right here, and then give him the fake and the fade and the lean. Follow through, and you get the little bounce and the skip. That's when you know he's in his rhythm.
When I was talking to Michael in the locker room before the game today, I asked him about all this speculation about what's going to happen. He said, Bill, I signed up under certain circumstances to play for the Chicago Bulls. And I want to keep playing under those circumstances. If somebody else changes those circumstances, then I don't want to be responsible under changed circumstances. So it was clear to me that he definitely wants to keep playing in the NBA.
David Robinson of the Spurs, Eddie Jones of the Lakers come in for the first time. Vin Baker here for the Sonics, also making his first appearance. And Payton misses from the corner. Rebound Mutombo. Grant Hill. Jordan. Jordan intercepts it, takes it in against Robinson. There's some contact, but no foul. Eddie Jones to Payton. Payton to Bryant. Spin move, left hand, no good. Two try by Jones isn't there. Baker will try it. And finally, it's Mutombo.
You got the two shot blockers in, and David Robinson and Mutombo, and they both told us they were going to protect the goal.
Hill swooping to the hoop, but it comes up short. Eddie Jones with a three. Way off. But Payton keeps it alive for the West. Kobe into the lane, to the hoop, and he's fouled. Is this pace quick enough for you? Stopped only temporarily by a timeout.
They've got a 3rd and 8 right now from the 29. Shotgun formation. Quarterback cut.
To be the next great player in this game, you're going to have to work as hard as Michael Jordan, but also have the myriad of skills, the outside jumper, the creativity, and the incredible athleticism that enables you to finish like Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, not only the youngest starter, but the youngest player, period, in All-Star history. He is the 3rd player to be a reserve for his team during the season, but selected to start the All-Star game. John Havlicek did it a couple of times for the Celtics. Dan Marley once for the Phoenix Suns. Lots of bench players have been voted All-Stars, but they played as reserves off the bench in the All-Star game. Only 3, Havlicek, Marley, and Kobe Bryant, have started the game after being 6th men for their teams during the season.
You know, Jerry West and the Lakers thought so much of Kobe Bryant when they drafted him. He told us Friday that they gave him Magic Johnson's old locker, and when he sat in his locker at the Forum, he got chills in his body.
Who wouldn't? Mr. Clutch, Magic Johnson, with his wife Cookie with him. And Kobe has a very good sense of the history of the game. After all, he is the son of Joe Jellybean Bryant, an NBA veteran. He's around the game his entire life.
And his mom, Pam, grew up in that whole NBA lifestyle, so she knew how to raise a quality young man here.
Yeah, he has the total package. He has a great understanding of the game, a great history and a knowledge of the game, very similar to what Michael Jordan and Grant Hill had when they came into the league.
Glenn Rice and Reggie Miller are getting set to check in. Rick Smits is already in for the use, the Pacers center. Here he is, his first shot. He's making his initial All-Star appearance in this, his 10th year in the league. Nobody has ever gone longer in the NBA before making their first All-Star team. A decade in the league and finally an All-Star.
Now, Rick Smits is a very good outside shooter. He shoots it good from 18 to 15 feet in. He's got great low post game, and if anybody hasn't seen him play in a while because he's been injured, this guy can put it in, and he's got 3-point range. I hope he takes one today.
Bob, I think the 2 most overlooked All-Stars who are finally here are Smits and Nick Van Exel of the Lakers. The last couple of years, Van Exel and Rick Smits have really deserved to be here. It's about time.
Van Exel with his first All-Star appearance in half the time of Smits. This is his 5th year.
Talking to all the players on the Western Conference, they said the guy they missed most is Charles Barkley, because it was really quiet in the locker room before the game.
It took Glenn Rice about 3 seconds to launch his first shot, which is a miss. Now Jason Williams, Hardaway for 3, and Tim Hardaway drills it.
Tim Hardaway knows how to put on a show. He and Gary Payton go back. They go way back from when they were playing against each other in the Western Conference. They got a little rivalry going.
That goes back further than that, Isaiah. He was telling me how he used to take a lot of abuse from you when he was growing up as a young man in the city of Chicago.
Mitch Richmond's first basket. He was the MVP of the game in '95 in Phoenix from the Sacramento Kings, but perhaps not much longer. February 19th, the trading deadline. His name's been in trade talks all year. Hardaway with 2 in a row from beyond the arc. Robinson's underneath, and he slams it home.
Back to Mitch Richmond. Miami's been very interested in trying to get him. Pat Riley's been trying to get him all year. They see him as the missing link to their championship puzzle, with the 1-2 punch of Hardaway, also having the inside strength of Mourning. Pat Riley is desperately seeking a trade to try to bring Mitch Richmond to the Miami Heat.
Tim Hardaway evidently feeling that when you're hot, you're entitled to shoot until you cool off. Launched home from about 10 feet beyond the arc and finally missed.
That's called a heat check, Bob. And Hardaway, Tim, is one of the guys that can get the MVP today.
Mitch Richmond comes off the bench hot. He's hit 2 in a row. Here's Jason Kidd of the Suns in the game for the first time, leaning on Tim Hardaway.
When you talk to opposing coaches about Hardaway, Tim, they fear his post game, Bob, every bit as much. And Tim Hardaway, he's your size, Bob.
Well, not quite. I wish. Richmond for 3.
You got two guys out there right now, Mitch Richmond and Tim Hardaway. They having a little mini shootout. Both of them are trying to get into a serious thing, a serious groove.
Last shot time.
In the final 10 seconds, Richmond's foot was on the line, by the way. That was a 2 and not a 3. Hardaway into the lane, tosses up a hook. Pat Riley would not have approved, but in the All-Star game, it's okay with Larry Bird. Jones missing from half court. First 12 minutes in the books. East 33, West 25. Back to Madison Square Garden after this. You're watching the NBA All-Star Game on NBC.
It was just another night at Fun Police headquarters. Fun Police.
Slow down offense at Lincoln High.
Buck, slow down offense. Call 20-second timeout. We're on our way. This is Unit 21. Possible board basketball game in progress.
Yo, Unit 10 on the way. We copy that.
What's up, dog?
How's it going?
What's up? What's up? Let's go, baby. I get it. Right, you're in front now?
It was just one game, one town. The job of the Fun Police is never done.
Everyone wants something from Jesus Shuttlesworth.
The guy's unbelievable.
Hello, son. But what his father wants,
You can make the governor very happy.
is something money can't buy.
If you deliver your son, he'll cut your time here short.
I figure you might need some fatherly advice. From who? From me.
Denzel Washington.
I pray that you understand why I pushed you so hard.
This isn't a game. This is life.
Don't blow it.
He Got Game, a Spike Lee joint. This film is not yet rated. Starts May 1st.
Sir, is this your computer? Yeah, it's unusually thin, sir. Please open it. Is this large area the screen, sir? Yeah. Sir, the screen is abnormally large and unusually bright. I know. Not the usual computer now, is it, sir?
No, it's not.
Supervisor to station 12.
It's a showstopper. The High Note Ultra 2000 with Intel Pentium processor with MMX technology from Digital.
You're watching the 1998 NBA All-Star Game on NBC.
Welcome back to the All-Star Game. Jim Gray at Madison Square Garden. Kobe Bryant, first quarter 8 points to lead the West in scoring. Kobe, 19 years old. Is this everything you thought it'd be?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely enjoying myself. It's a top-notch basketball right here, so it's definitely a dream.
You're certainly not bashful. You came out firing.
I just wanted to come out and, be aggressive and try to get loose and get within the flow of the game. And, Kevin, we talked before the game. He said he's going to help me get loose, and he did.
How about that 360 dunk? Tell us about that one.
I just wanted to improvise and do something nice.
Now, you said you'd be nervous, you thought, before the game, were you?
No. Once I stepped out there on the court, I really didn't feel as nervous, I guess, because I was at home, playing a game of basketball, and I haven't played in a couple of days, so I felt at home.
Just another game, right?
Yeah, right. Something like that.
All right, Kobe, we look forward to seeing you back in the game. Bob?
All right, Jim, thanks. Here's Glenn Rice with his first field goal. And the East is back up by 10 at 35-25 in the first minute of the second quarter. Vin Baker fouled as he goes up. Baker went into the All-Star game on a real high note, 41 points and 11 rebounds on 16 of 22 shooting Wednesday night in a home victory against Larry Bird's Pacers. And folks, You can log on to NBA.com and join NBC's own Steve Cyber Snapper Jones in a live All-Star Cybercast of tonight's game. He's taking your questions. There he is, three-time ABA All-Star. He'll provide his analysis on the NBA's website, www.nba.com, to speak with the Snapper. Baker makes them both. Rice comes back and fires. Long off the back iron. Kidd has the rebound. Between his legs, Robinson couldn't handle it, but Baker was there to pick it up and slam it home.
Jason Kidd missed last year's All-Star game after making it the year before. He was injured, broken collarbone. This for him is his dream game. He's the ultimate creator out there in the Western Conference on the break, and now he's got big-time finishers who can deliver.
From Hardaway.
To be 7-4. Dream about it, Bob. Dream about it.
If even you're dreaming about it, I'm not going to bother to think about it. Eddie Jones fades and fires, and Eddie Jones has it rim out for him. Stick with it, and Smits loses it. It'll still belong to the West.
Did they take the traveling violation out of this game?
Some think they've taken it out of the league entirely, and certainly in the All-Star game, they're not calling it tight. Look at who's in the game right now, and obviously the substitutions come fast and furious. Robinson mishandles it. East ball.
We got two paces in the game right now, Rick Smits and Reggie Miller. Let's see if they try to run something for one of those guys and get them involved in the play together.
Miller driving on Kidd, tosses it up on the run, and he'll come to the free throw line. This, in a sense, is Reggie Miller's second home. Madison Square Garden. He's had a number of great performances here in front of hostile crowds he enjoys provoking.
Yeah, I talked to Reggie Miller Friday, and he was a little mad because he feels that they're not getting the type of respect that they deserve over here in the East. They feel that everybody's talking about Chicago, and they've kind of conceded that it's going to be Chicago and Miami, and he doesn't want anybody to forget that, hey, we were here a couple of years ago in the Eastern Conference Finals battling the Knicks.
But Reggie gets the ultimate respect when he comes in here because they all boo him the loudest, and he's well aware of the significance of that.
Jason Kidd. And Jason Williams with the rebound. Second in the league in that category. To the Bulls, Dennis Rodman. Tim Hardaway in a crowd has it knocked away. Goes to the floor to pick it up. And now it's Glenn Rice.
Nice Smith. Glenn Rice's first pass of the afternoon.
Richmond's open. But his three spins out. And another rebound for Jason Williams. The lob intended for Rice is broken up by Eddie Jones. Mitch Richmond is back. Miller cuts him off and causes him to miss the layup.
See, that's when you know they're playing. They're competing. They're not giving up any layups. Michael Jordan warned them early that they wanted to win, and they're coming out to get it.
Hardaway tries another three. It ricochets to Eddie Jones.
Rick Smith is making a mistake. He's trying to keep up with the ball. You just got to stay at one end when you're a big guy, preferably the offensive end.
A two-pointer for Mitch Richmond. Again, his toe on the line. The West back to within 7.
I'd like to comment on a Mitch Richmond situation, Bob. You know, here's a guy who played on basically a losing team his whole career. I think he needs to do more if he's really serious about getting to that championship level. He's going to have to take a sacrifice, a pay cut to get what he wants. He cannot have both.
One of the great catch-and-shoot players in NBA history, Reggie Miller, doing just that. What he does best in that last sequence. Here's Vin Baker muscling one home.
You got to admire what Vin Baker has done to his body. He was a guy, when he first came into the league, was a very skinny kid. He spent a lot of time working out in the summer and has gotten his body to the point where he can go down and perform under the low post.
Kidd locks it up there for Eddie Jones.
Nice. Now see, that's Jason Kidd and Eddie Johnson and Eddie Jones. And the alley-oop finish.
Jason Kidd told me before the game, Bob, when he learned from Magic Johnson, his boyhood hero, was when you come to these games, learn to let the joy show. And the West bench just absolutely loves it. Everybody coming up and enjoying it.
Go to the net, NBA.com.
Big O in the all-time annals of all-star scoring. The last time prior to this weekend that Michael Jordan turned up sick, it was Game 5 of the NBA Finals. He was much sicker then, stomach virus, all kinds of additional symptoms. There's Kareem looking on. It'll take 41 from Michael tonight for Kareem's record to fall. You remember that night in Salt Lake City, Michael, out of the sickbed, scored 39 in one of the great performances, all things considered, in the modern history of sports. I don't think that's an overstatement. And it was the pivotal game in the series. Gave Chicago a 3-2 lead that they took back home, and then they wrapped it up in Game 6. Here's a look back.
And Michael Jordan was absolutely spectacular, doing everything during the game. During the timeouts, he would rest, collapse, be carried to the bench by his teammates. You could see the ashen look in his face. An incredibly inspiring performance that day, as great a player as I've ever seen.
So, you know, Bill, when it comes down to championship play, it's not a matter of your skill, it's a battle of your wills. And Michael Jordan's will in terms of winning championship games and winning championship trophies are stronger than anyone in this league playing today.
He has passed someone else in an all-star category. He had a couple of steals in the first half, and now, Isaiah, you must give it up.
But look at that lift. That was the only record that I had that he hadn't got yet. Now he's taking everything. He took the championship trophy from me. He took the All-Star trophy from me. Now he's taking the All-Star steals.
He has ransacked the entire village.
If the lift is Magic, Jordan, Isaiah, and Bird, that's special company.
We start the second half. Shaq with the pass from Peyton, can't bank it home. And Shawn Kemp has it to the east. They lead by 9. Penny Hardaway. Tim Hardaway of the Heat felt that he deserved the All-Star start. Michael missing, and so he's still at 13. Insofar as Penny played only 17 games in the season's first half, the fans voted for Penny. Here's Peyton.
But Bob, there's some historical context to that comment, because in '92, when Magic won the MVP, we had the flashback earlier, Tim Hardaway gave up his starting spot and let Magic start. Magic hadn't played that year. Tim Hardaway went to Penny and said, hey, look, that's the way I feel, and I'm not changing my mind.
Grant Hill hit for the east. Kevin Garnett answers for the west. Garnett is the first all-star starter from Minneapolis since George Mikan in the 50s. Jordan with a smile on his face, toying with Karl Malone. Kemp. Malone has the rebound. Peyton accelerates, dishing to Garnett. Over Kemp. He's hit 2 in a row.
You know, when Garnett was in high school, when I was scouting him, he played every position out on the floor. But his favorite position, believe it or not, was the point guard position. He fancied himself as being a big Magic Johnson.
And that might work against him, because he's been catapulted into this level. And in the game where Kevin Garnett is not quite there yet because of that huge contract he signed, and now he's got to live up, and believe me, his life will never be the same. And why not with $126 million?
Shaq missing the fadeaway, and Kemp has the rebound. Mutombo had the last basket off a Penny Hardaway pass for the East.
Shawn Kemp has quietly put together a nice game here this afternoon.
Hard to do anything quietly, though, in this game. Understatement is not the coin of the round tonight. Here's who's on the floor right now.
You got the one-on-one. You see everybody clear it out.
I'm not so sure what that was, but Kemp has it. Now Malone takes it away. Who wants it?
Well, Shaq was protecting his buddy.
That was a foul.
That's what it was. Could have given it to Kobe. Thought about it for a second, but they said, hey, I'd like to try the windmill jam.
That was nice. That was nice.
Peyton has 10 assists now.
Remember, Peyton had 15 assists in the game that Mitch Richmond won the MVP back in Phoenix. Shaq really closed it down the middle.
Mutombo. You know, when we talk about Penny Hardaway starting, or Kevin Garnett, who might not be the best player right now on his own team with Stephon Marbury and Tom Gugliotta. Someday he'll be the most valuable property there, no matter how good Marbury and Gugliotta may be. But it's a matter of who the fans wanted to see, like this guy, Kobe Bryant. The starters, at least, are the province of the fans. The reserves voted on by a consensus of each conference's coaches. Kobe says Jerry Reynolds, who used to coach Sacramento, now their director of player personnel, said, look, we accept it's a popularity contest. If you put Little Penny on the ballot, he'd start.
That last play, though, by Kobe Bryant is an example of what he really needs to do to get to the next level. Being able to score off his own dribble when everything is too far extended. The only player who really does that, though, right now is Michael Jordan.
Big Penny misses. West back with the ball.
Nice tip away by... Whose Penny is that?
That would be Big Penny.
Okay.
And to Kidd, Garnett misses.
Here's the finals matchup right now. He looks like
it. The Jazz swept their 2 games during this regular season against the Bulls. Beat them in Chicago and in Salt Lake City. Hill floats. Doesn't hit it, but the tip is there for Shawn Kemp. Bryant ahead to Shaq. Mutombo all over him and wrestles him down.
Mutombo told us Friday he wasn't giving up anything. He said no free lunch, no free chili. If Shaq gets it underneath, I'm fouling him. I'm not giving anything.
Shaq out in transition, the absolute best player in today's game, a big man up and down the floor. Now, Shaq told me that he asked for 100 tickets. He only got 20. How disappointing.
Well, Shaq, with a somewhat checkered all-star history, he's been selected all 6 years he's been in the league. Last year, he was injured, didn't come to Cleveland, took some criticism for not showing up to be honored among the 50 greatest of all time. In '94, playing for the East, George Karl, this year's West coach, George coaching the West for the 3rd time, doubled and sometimes triple-teamed and held him to 8 points, and Shaq was really steamed. Here's Michael from 20. He's missed 3 in a row in this second half. And in '96, Shaq had 25 points and 10 rebounds in San Antonio. Jordan steals it, sets Penny up. He juggled it away, so he couldn't go into the full-fledged act there, so he just kind of lays it in. And Shaq in '96, playing in San Antonio, where he went to high school, felt that maybe he should have been the MVP, and they gave it to Michael Jordan instead. So he's had some all-star disappointments, even though generally he's played well in the game. Malone with the basket at the other end.
Well, that all-star game last year in Cleveland, Shaq had a great game, but Michael Jordan did something that hasn't been done in an all-star game ever. He recorded a triple-double. So Jordan deserved the MVP.
Which he also did last year.
Now that move that Shaq just performed is something that he's been working on, and as Shaq gets older, his game continues to develop and grow in the low post. He's starting to find his way and starting to find his space in the low post, and he repays Mutombo back for the slam.
Doesn't he name each of his moves? And I believe that this particular move, the spin move off the baseline, he has dubbed the Black Tornado. It blew Mutombo away, I'll tell you that. 80-69 East. Back to the NBA All-Star Game on NBC after this.
Just catching up to the crossover. So how do you do this new move?
I do a slow spin to let the defender see which direction I'm going in. And once he tries to beat me to the spot, I put the ball behind my back and go in another direction.
And DMX cushions and stabilizes every step. But they're the moves you're never where they expect you to be.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll say about this one.
Miller Genuine Draft presents even more basketball.
Kobe has challenged Michael. Michael comes out and he's saying, not tonight, young fella. I'm bringing all my tricks. Kobe comes back and he says, Michael, I'm stealing it. I'm taking it. I want the torch. Michael says, Kobe, I got some more tricks left in my bag. As Ahmad told us earlier, he's not ready to leave yet, folks.
And in recognition of this look inside the game, the Miller Brewing Company will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund.
Bob, when I talked to Michael before the game in the locker room, and I asked him about all this speculation about what's next and who's next in terms of Kobe Bryant and all the hype, he said it's okay to talk about it, but that's not something you give away. That's something that a player is going to have to go out there and earn. He said that Kobe Bryant is a candidate, but that he's got to let his game define his existence and not just the hype and the commercials and everything else.
Dikembe Mutombo at the line, as you may know, grew up in Zaire, which is now, after much turmoil, once again the Congo. But when it was Zaire, he, as an 8-year-old kid in 1974, stood in the back of the stadium, stood on top of a crate to see over the crowd to watch Muhammad Ali fight George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle in 1974. His mom ran a concession stand at the stadium selling soda and snuck him in as an 8-year-old to see the fight. Bryant missing.
And Dikembe still goes regularly back to Africa, his native country, and he's planning on building a couple of hospitals there. Raises a ton of money. He's bringing the entire NBA over there for a big All-Star game next September in South Africa, Bob.
Maybe not the entire NBA.
Well, enough to play a game.
A few hundred would swell the population. Malone. And Karl Malone hits. He's been quoted this week as saying, you know, I'm really not a Showtime player. All-Star games aren't for me, but he has twice been the MVP in '89 and in '93. Off the Hardaway pass, and then Jordan intercepts the inbound.
Well, this is Karl Malone's first All-Star game without John Stockton, and he told us Friday that he feels kind of lost. He doesn't know what to do without his partner out there, but if he gets hot, he says he wants a lot of time, and he wants the ball.
Inside Bryant, and a goaltending call on Shaquille O'Neal, but he really took the youngster to school on that exchange.
Isolated along the baseline to back him down. You look inside, the little hitch, the step underneath. Kobe hung out to dry. Shaq only to goaltend possibly.
But see, that's what teammates do, Bill. You're not going to embarrass my teammate. That's what Shaq said.
Kobe for 3.
That's where Kobe is much better than creating off his own dribble. The spot-up shooting, one quick dribble here and then up.
See, when John dunks, I love the antics that he does after his dunks. You know, the little moves that he does.
Garnett, that's a 2-point attempt. Kemp has the rebound. Hardaway set Kemp up for that dunk with a nice pass. This time it's Hardaway to Mutombo.
Way to reward the big fella. The big fella gets out and runs. You got to give him the basketball.
Bryant, who now has 13 after hitting the 3 a moment ago. Shaq to the foul line for the jumper.
The East has so many of these 6'7" guys like Grant Hill who can dribble it out after their own rebound.
Bryant took it. Now, I'm not sure if he traveled there or if he had some kind of violation, because I'm not sure I've ever seen that move before, but the official said, hey, it's a show, we're watching it like everybody else.
That's the same dribble move that he used in the first half. It's a move that I haven't seen in basketball before. His creativity is amazing.
Peyton with an easy one.
Well, he wanted to pass it off the board to Shaq, but Dikembe saw the whole thing coming and stayed at home with Shaq.
Hardaway.
None of the shot blockers are coming, Bob. They're all standing with their own guys so they don't get dunked on.
Defense taking a holiday, especially in the last few minutes. Uncontested layups. Bryant with a 3. Playing the full range. He has the incredible hook sandwiched in between a pair of 3s, and now Hill with the slam.
Kobe's putting on the show. He's got Magic jumping out of his seat. He got everybody in here going crazy.
He's got 18. Malone is short with it. Jordan, who has 15, comes into the lane, off balance, and gets the roll.
That's what you love about Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Now, Mutombo may have touched that ball on the rim. It was going in anyway.
The referees have pocketed the whistles, Bob.
Well, when you're Michael Jordan in this league, you got to get some breaks. You got to get some calls, particularly in the All-Star game.
They give the basket to Mutombo, though, not to Michael. And O'Neal hits the little hook. Back comes Hardaway. The scoreboard doing crazy things at Madison Square Garden. I just looked up to check the score, and it reads East 97, West 3.
Kobe wants to take the choice. He's saying, I don't want you to pass it. Look at the dribble move. Look at the face. And the hook. Let's take another look at that. I've never seen this before. Behind his back, to himself, to his right hand, and the Kareem sky hook.
You're not that old that you've never seen that move.
Magic Joker, look at that.
I don't think Magic's ever seen it before, but he loves it. And now Kobe from the outside.
And this is a deep, long three right in front of, I love this game. And he laughs and gives us a wink.
The highlight reel is what it's about, but just for the books, it's 97-83.
Reminds you that anything can happen at Miller Time. By Acura, the true definition of luxury. Yours. By AT&T, it's all within your reach. And by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's?
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. I'm Jim Gray. A spectacular show by a 19-year-old young man, Kobe Bryant, is mesmerizing this entire crowd and the entire NBA, all of his peers. Look at this move. He's shooting 7 for 16 from the field. Kobe, Isaiah Thomas and Bill Walton have seen an awful lot of basketball. They said they've never seen a player move like that. Where'd you learn that one?
Just really just playing on the playgrounds in Philadelphia. When I came back from Europe, I picked up a few tricks here and there.
Now, how much did you practice that for this game specifically?
Not much. When I get in this game, I just basically try to play off of instincts.
Now, come on. You had to practice that a little bit. You told me you had a little something special. Was that it?
No, not yet.
Not yet? You got something else in there, huh?
If I get the opportunity to, I will, yeah.
18 points. You thinking MVP at all if you can come back?
Oh, no, I don't know. I'm just out there playing.
All right, Kobe, we look forward to the next trick, Bob. Gary Payton hit a three while they were talking. Well, if that's not the A-list move, I'd love to see what is. That's not the secret play, he says. Kobe Bryant from Philadelphia, the All-Star game is there next year, and he has said that his goal was to make the All-Star team in his third year so he could play in Philly. He jumped it by a year, and it's obvious that he belongs.
Well, it's amazing the things that the young guys coming into the league are thinking about in their minds. I never would imagine that a player would ever try a move like that. When Kobe talked about being over in Europe and learning that move when he came back, it's interesting that Kobe speaks 3 languages. He speaks fluent Italian and French. And he also scored 1,100 on his SAT and is still continuing his college education while he's a professional basketball player. Amazing young man.
Studying at UCLA, I might add. Isaiah,
you want everybody to be at UCLA.
That's right. I wanted you to come there, too. Have you ever seen anybody better at 19 than Kobe Bryant?
I've never seen anyone with the skill set and the maturity that he has at 19 and the total understanding for the entertainment package. Magic, myself, Michael Jordan, all of us, when we came into the league, we understood how to win championships, how to play basketball. But Kobe, at a very young age, understands the entertainment of basketball and understands how to get on the stage and entertain and perform.
The 2 best that I ever saw at 19 were Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he was a youngster at UCLA, and then Sabonis, now the center for the Portland Trail Blazers. When he was a 19-year-old player before the injuries and before he put on the weight, he was a 7'3" Larry Bird who could do everything.
But did he understand how to bring the fans into the game and how to make them say ooh and ah?
He didn't have to.
Here's Van Exel. It's in and out, and Jason Williams has the rebound. When you saw the high scores a moment ago, Jordan at 17, they changed that basket back again. Remember, Jordan took the jumper. Mutombo might have been guilty of an offensive goaltend, but he shoved it back home. But at first, they gave the basket to Dikembe, and now they've changed it to Jordan. So give Michael 17. Here's Eddie Jones driving. Vin Baker comes away with it. The ball out of bounds to the west.
Just so nice to see David Robinson back in this game, Bob. I mean, a year ago with the back injury and the foot surgery where they put the pin in there, he didn't believe himself that he was going to make it back.
Mitch Richmond short with the two-point attempt. Williams has not scored in this game, but he has a bunch of rebounds. He's got 6 of them in limited duty. Here's Tim Hardaway tossing one up, no good. But Glenn Rice is there for the follow.
You know, when we talked to David Robinson Friday, he told us when we were standing on the stage field with the 50 greatest players, it killed him not to be in that All-Star game in Cleveland. And he is so pleased with himself that he's been able to come back from the type of surgery that he had and made the All-Star team again.
Van Exel marauding through the lane and tossing it home.
While we're on the 50 greatest players, it was amazing that Isaiah Thomas was the only guy there who none of his teammates were on that 50 greatest roster. That's how good this young man was.
Van Exel racing back the other way.
I didn't realize that, Bill, that I didn't have a teammate there until I went to talk to you, and you were standing there with 5 Celtics. And then it dawned on me, you know, that's why we couldn't beat you.
Pretty good players on those teams. David Robinson has been playing with a bad shoulder for a while, and he comes out rubbing it there.
He got the penetration in the lane, and he cups it and finger rolls it. You know, as he drove through the lane to protect the basketball, he cupped it so he can bring it out and finger roll it, a la George Gervin.
East has led all the way. They're up now by 11 with 17 seconds to play in the third quarter. Robinson cuts it to 10.
Nick Van Exel was especially appreciative of the encouraging words all season long by his good friend but opponent, Gary Peake, who has constantly said, Nick, you'll get there one day. Just be patient.
Rice was hammered. No foul call. Slings it the other way as the buzzer sounds. Well, they were at the top of the marquee coming in, and they're doing it through 3. The East by 10. This, as you no doubt are aware, is the NBA on NBC, and we're back after these messages and a word from your local station.
That it would go in was just amazing. And Isaiah, he understands that because he got moves like that himself.
Now, you talked a lot with Kobe, obviously, since you're with the club quite a bit.
Yeah.
He got your locker. How thrilled was he to have 32's old locker?
Well, he said I was always his idol, so it made me feel good. But I think the main thing is we're bringing him along as slowly as possible.
Well, you've been trying to until tonight. What is this going to do? Kind of ruin that process, isn't it?
I know, but we still want to do that. I just hope Michael Jordan stays around one more year to really, again, show him what a professional is like, to show him that he still must improve on his basketball game. And then if he can do that, then I think Kobe will be all right. But he needs Michael to stay around to really still show him, to still be the teacher, and he can still be the pupil and learn from Michael Jordan.
Now, have you conveyed those thoughts and that sentiment to Michael Jordan that you would like to see him stay, and are you trying to talk him out of leaving?
Yeah, I told him that yesterday as well as today. And I also talked to Kobe about looking at him and really not trying to pattern his game after him, but look at him and what he has accomplished. But not only what he has accomplished, but how he has accomplished it. He's always added something to his game. He's always in the gym practicing. This is Michael Jordan I'm talking about. So now, Kobe, you have to do the same thing.
Was Michael receptive to what you said, and you think he has an open mind about returning?
Well, I think he has an open mind. I think right now he'll probably wait till the end of the season to really find out, okay, what the Bulls going to do, who's going to be there. Without Phil Jackson, he's never going to go back to the Bulls. That's over. But if Phil remains, then I think there's a great possibility. But, hey, this is the Mecca right here, New York. Hey, it might be a possibility here, or L.A. He has to have a center stage. He can't be with just any team. He has to have a stage. And what bigger stage than New York or somewhere?
Magic, great to see you. Always a thrill.
Tell my boy Isaiah, hello, Bob, hello. Isaiah, nobody could do it like us, though. See, we had this game moving up and down, baby, up and down.
All right, Magic.
I feel you.
Now, you guys going to go kiss again, or?
Well, that's my brother, and I love him.
And while we consider the possibility, let's step aside for a commercial. It seems like the best plan.
Rockets, Lakers, then Pistons, Bulls. Next Sunday on NBC.
I'm late for my wedding. Can you help me out?
You nervous a little bit?
I can't show off like this.
Maybe she'll help you out.
With our full line of sports cars, sport utility vehicles, and sedans, Mitsubishi can get you where you're going on time. Just make sure you know where you're going. The family of automobiles from Mitsubishi.
So how's the Lightning with DMX feel?
It feels cool. At first, I didn't know how it would feel, but I can really feel it when I'm out there running.
You know, that air's actually moving. Cushion stabilizes your foot.
For a rookie, Spence, this kind of technology might be too much to handle.
Yeah,
They helped me handle you under the basket.
They helped me serve you up at the three-point line.
So, you guys both felt the air moving.
I felt it just like Chauncey felt me.
Want to play again?
The NBA All-Star Game is brought to you by Reebok, creating possibilities one athlete at a time. By the full line of vehicles from Mitsubishi, built for living. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. You don't have to live thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
Well, moments ago, while we were away, Magic Johnson answers the question. It is now an official game.
I was interested in Magic's comments, hoping and urging Michael Jordan to come back. I think he should come back. I hope he does come back. And I was talking to Bill Russell, who was my favorite player when I was growing up. And I asked him about the situation that he was in at the end of his career, and who was going to be the coach. And Russell said that every great player at that level, Russell, Bird, Magic, Isaiah Thomas, they should be able to pick their own coach.
Well, I was in a very similar situation in Detroit when Chuck Daly left, and we had a coaching change, and I had to adjust to a Ron Rothstein and a Don Chaney, two new coaches, and it totally threw my rhythm off. And even in my last year, I remember Don Chaney benched me and played Lindsey Hunter before me. So
he was gone quick.
Well, he was going the next year after that. But what Jordan is going through and what he's talking about with Phil Jackson is that you don't want to break in a new coach. You don't want to have someone who comes in and doesn't understand the way you play the game.
Well, we're already in an era, long since into an era, where that's part of the game. Magic Johnson ushered Paul Westhead out and Pat Riley in the early 80s. Grant Hill didn't support Doug Collins. I don't know if he pushed him out, but he certainly didn't pull him back in, and now Doug Collins is not the Piston coach. Penny Hardaway wanted Brian Hill out, so did some other members of the Orlando Magic, and out went Brian Hill. So Michael Jordan saw to it that Phil Jackson remained beyond when, for whatever reason, Chicago management wanted him to remain, and now Michael says, if Phil doesn't come back, I don't come back.
But that's what makes the Chicago situation so bizarre, because they all want him back, and the people in Chicago love him.
And Jordan nails the three for emphasis, as we discussed this today.
Yeah, and the guys that you talked about, though, they're not at the level that Michael Jordan is, or Magic Johnson was, or even myself. Those guys that you're talking about, they haven't won championships.
And so you say to yourself, regardless of what friction there may be, as we watch Michael hit the triple again, between Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Krause and Phil Jackson, regardless of how enamored Jerry Krause may be of Tim Floyd of Iowa State, if you got a team that can win another championship or contend for one, and if Michael Jordan says this is what I want, and it's worked to the tune of 5 titles and maybe 7 had Michael not gone away to play baseball, what's the problem in bringing them all back?
You're asking the wrong guy, Bob.
It's a rhetorical question, I guess. I believe I'm preaching to the choir with you two. Reggie Miller hit at the other end. Now Van Exel with a 3 that's long. And Jason Williams, the closest thing to a hometown star, grew up in the Lower East Side of New York, college at St. John's, now representing the New Jersey Nets with Patrick Ewing hurt. There's no Nick in the game. Miller for 3, as he's done so often in this building, and he turns to face Spike Lee. But this might be the one night when Spike is actually rooting for Reggie, since he's got to be as a Knicks fan, pulling for the Eastern Conference.
Bob, Spike never roots for Reggie. Every time he sees Reggie in the Indiana uniform, he roots totally against him.
Reggie almost quit the game of basketball before this season. He's had all kinds of problems, injuries of a couple years ago. Somebody comes in and foolishly, stupidly burns his house down, destroys his whole lifetime of collection and stuff. Larry Bird, when he took the coaching job, he called up Reggie and said, hey, Reggie, look, I know you're going through a lot of trouble here. We need you. We got something that's really special here. Please, please stay with us. We think we can turn it back around. Reggie reluctantly came back to play, and it's really paid off.
And when you talk about Reggie's house burning down, to show you what type of league this is, how the players and the commissioner looks out for the family members, David Stern has taken it upon himself to start a memorabilia collection for Reggie Miller to get back all the stuff that he got.
Van Exel tried to set his teammate Eddie Jones up when Eddie couldn't finish. Van Exel was there, but there may have been a foul before Van Exel attempted his shot, and there was, so Eddie Jones is coming to the line.
Well, this is like a regular Laker game right here, just coming down in waves, throwing the ball up above the hoop and throwing it down.
Well, there's a great all-star tradition of helping to get your teammates off in this game. Karl Malone, the 2 times he won MVP, had 28 points in each game. Stockton had 17 assists the first time and 15 the second time when he shared MVP honors at the Delta Center with Karl Malone.
I remember that game that those two won the MVP there, but the thing I remember most about that game is that was Shaquille's first all-star game. And I remember him coming to my room asking me for advice. And Joe Dumars and I were sitting on the bed, and this 7-foot guy comes in, and he was the first one to turn Joe and I on to rap music. He was rapping, singing a song about Snoop Doggy Dogg, and that's when Joe and I looked at each other and said, you know, I think we're getting a little too old for this stuff now.
Jordan spins into the lane, the up and under is there for him.
And you obviously told Shaq to inbound the ball, block a lot of shots, and rebound and throw long outlets.
When the guy's that big, you don't say anything to him but, okay.
Van Exel threw a crowd with a miss. Jones out of the pack of the ball, puts it back up and no good. Bill Baker has it blocked, and here's Michael. Jordan has 22 points, bouncing to Miller, and Reggie can't finish it. Van Exel slings it back the other way. Jones pulls up for 3. Ben Baker blocked by Smith. Now the hands of Michael.
Ben Baker pushed Reggie Miller out of the way, and Rick Smith came behind him and said, don't push my teammate.
Behind the back to give Jason Williams the bucket.
The Duncan Dutchman on the behind-the-back pass.
Well, he went to school at Marist College just a few miles north of Madison Square Garden. He's got to have some rooters here today. His family is here from Holland, Bobby. That's where he's from.
Known for his dunks, the Duncan Dutchman behind the back to Jason for a slam dunk.
Dutch Street.
And the bench goes crazy. And how about the up, the scoop, the George Skerman finger roll.
Back to Madison Square Garden as soon as we can catch our breath.
I dream I move, I dream I groove. Like Mike, if I could be like Mike, I wanna be like Mike. Like Mike, if I could be like Mike, could be like Mike. Be like Mike, oh, be like Mike. Yeah, I got, oh, just need to fly. Oh, yeah, just one day if I could be that way. Boom, 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 boom. I dream I move. Like Mike.
If I could be like Mike.
If I could be what's up, Mike? Like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
I'm not going to sing.
Phoenix Suns gorilla, essaying the role of King Kong, absent Fay Ray, uses the collapsing Empire State Building to launch himself toward a slam. And here are masters of their respective domains, Commissioner David Stern and Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. The mayor overlooking the apparent zoning ordinance violation involved in the collapsing Empire State Building. while ago, the East went on a 12-0 run to up their advantage to 119-96, but the score doesn't eliminate Kobe Bryant as an MVP candidate, that's for sure, and there's some history. There have been 3 MVPs off losing teams. Bob Pettit of the Hawks in 1958, Dr. J in 1977, Magic Johnson in 1990. Rick Smits from the head of the key.
Smits is feeling it now. You can just see it in his face. Finally, his health returned to him this year. The feet looking, feeling very good.
Well, the East players has taken a cue from Michael Jordan early in the game. He told them when he first got here this week, he wants to win this game, and the East has come out to show their dominance. And we talked to Bird, he talked about playing Jordan at the point.
Michael misses with the left hand, but Antoine Walker of the Celtics slams it home and makes sure folks notice it. Eddie Jones with the reverse.
Very nice.
Well, when I was talking to Eddie Jones, he talked about how he's changed his dedication this year. Last year, he tailed off at the end of the season and did not play well in the playoffs. And it was because he stopped working out off the court. He to work out throughout the season in that weight room with his physical trainer, and he's convinced that those moments of inconsistency that have plagued Eddie Jones are now a thing of the past.
I know from experience from being a GM in Toronto that when you put the fear in a player's heart that you may send him from Los Angeles to Sacramento, that'll make you play a little better and work a lot harder.
Antoine Walker for 3. He has that kind of range, but he misses. He had a 49-point game earlier this year against Washington. That matches Michael Jordan's 49 against the Clippers for the high output in the league this year. In and out for Eddie Jones. And here comes Reggie Miller, who scored 14. The East by 25, 125 to 100. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in the game. Walker. And Duncan the rebound.
Do you think Larry Bird is trying to play Michael Jordan a lot of minutes to suck up to him?
No, because I think he's trying to wear him out, possibly. Smits with the very nice block there.
And there's Larry Bird, a 12-time All-Star, 3-time league MVP, and the All-Star coach in his rookie year. Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, starring Steven Seagal, comes up after the All-Star game.
Bob, when I was talking to Michael and Larry before the game tonight, they were reminiscing about the great moments in Barcelona. And I know, Zeke, how disappointed you were not to be on that trip. But we do have Ahmad Rashad, who knows a little bit about that trip to Barcelona.
I do know about the trip to Barcelona, but another thing was I was talking to Larry about Michael retiring. He said he doesn't want Michael to retire. He said he knows that when you retire, you have absolutely nothing to do. There are not enough tea times to keep you busy. And he said, take it from me. I'm back coaching, and he said, I hope Michael does not make that same mistake because he's the guy that needs something to do every day, like play basketball.
Bob, I was retired once, and I hated it.
I lost track of how many times you were retired. Here is Garnett. We've heard tonight that Michael has the 2 most esteemed predecessors of his telling him to retire. Garnett with the dunk. Magic is working on him. Larry Bird's working on him. Millions of fans would say the same to him if they had an opportunity.
Well, we just don't want Michael to leave the game. You know, Magic, Bird, myself, the way we had to leave the game, it was because of injuries or other reasons. And we don't want Michael to look back and turn around and want to do something that he loves so much and leave it too early.
But I think the great players, of the guys you just listed, you have to play it out because that helps validate the next generation when they finally get to the point where they can beat you. When age and injury does catch up, then it says, okay, now we see these new guys, and they really do have it.
Jordan was fouled, taking it to the hole. He'll be at the line when we come back. 2.5 minutes to play. Every aspect of his career, Michael Jordan's All-Star experience has been spectacular. In '88, he won his 2nd straight slam dunk contest. This is the move that became a poster. Remember that? Millions of kids have that one hanging on the wall. And then in the game the next day, he scored 40 and was named the MVP. 2 years ago in San Antonio, he led the East to victory and won his second All-Star MVP award.
Now, Michael, this is the first, Bob, excuse me, this is the first time that Michael Jordan has played for Larry Bird as a coach, and I asked Michael what his favorite memory of Larry Bird was. And he went back to the 63-point game in the 86 playoffs, Jordan's second year in the league, and Larry, who was the MVP at the time and the champion, Larry got Michael guarding him in the low post, and Larry just eyes lit up, and he said, I got a little one down here. And he said, give me the ball, give me the ball. Jordan comes down, and Bird switches onto him, so Jordan starts hollering, hey, I got a big one out here. They just kept going the rest of the way on his way to 63 with Big Little.
Michael Jordan just made one of two. The first one he shot conventionally. The second one, you were able to see he did what he sometimes does in a game that's a blowout or a game like this, the All-Star game, which is both an exhibition and a blowout, as it turns out, 128 to 106. He shot the second one with his eyes closed and missed it. Steve Smith off with a three. Jason Kidd with the world's longest tap attempt from about 10 feet. Here's Garnett.
But Jordan's the type of guy that even though he shot it with his eyes closed, he's mad that he missed it.
But look what George Karl's got out here for the West right now. You're talking all the young guys. Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Kevin Garnett, Jason Kidd, Tim Duncan.
Smith missing the three. West ball out of bounds. 1:39 to play. East by 20. This is the second foul shot by Michael. Eyes closed, and it's off left. Oh, no.
And he's probably mad that he missed it. But what the young guys should do is take advice from the older guys. Seek one of the older guys out. When I came to my first All-Star game, I saw Kareem out to ask Kareem, how do I handle my career? How do I go about being a champion? The one thing that Kareem told me when I first came into the league as a rookie was, Isaiah, stay grounded and stay humble. And that was the best advice that I ever got in an All-Star game.
Eddie Jones slices through. 13 for him.
The guy that was my mentor coming up,
Glenn Rice,
was Steve Jones. He's now in the cyberspace.
The snapper.
Absolutely.
Steve Smith gets the basket on the follow.
So, Isaiah, who's your pick for MVP?
Michael Jordan. It has to be Jordan. His team won. He's the leading scorer. And this is what the young players got to learn. Even though you come out and you put on a show and you entertain the fans, the bottom line is you still have to win, and you got to win championship to be considered one of the greatest ever.
A rainbow three from Glenn Rice.
But Jordan came out and set the tempo early. The first drive in the middle, get the team off to the lead, hit the jumpers, while all the hype and everything and the spectacular plays went to Kobe. Michael leading the team to victory with the discipline, with the fundamentals, and the conditioning. I think the conditioning of Jordan is so often overlooked. He works so hard at being at the top.
Eddie Jones with it. As we play out the final seconds, Van Exel, an unguarded three, way off. Kemp firing ahead for Smith. He'll take it.
Now, both of those guys play every summer against each other at St. Cecilia Recreation League.
Kevin Garnett missing, but considering it's just the final seconds of an All-Star game, he can say, as he does in those commercials, that it was tastefully done.
And if I'm all these young guys right now, knowing that this may be Michael Jordan's last game, I'm running to ask him for his gym shoes, and will he sign them for me?
35. The list 14.
Go for the jersey, forget the shoes.
Kobe over to congratulate Michael. He's looking for him. There they are. And this may be as close to a torch passing as we'll see. There's always the possibility that the Lakers and Bulls could be in the finals. But this might be the last time we see Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan on the floor at the same time. The teams have played their two regular season games already. They split them. The Bulls won in Chicago. Lakers won last week at the Forum. And if they don't meet in the finals, and if, despite everyone's pleas to the contrary, this is it for Michael Jordan, then this is where the torch was passed.
Well, watching all the players come up and hug Michael Jordan and give him the type of respect and the love that he deserves, it would be sad to see him leave the game and not be able to continue to pass on his wisdom and his knowledge to these younger players and teach them how to be professionals and teach them how to win championships and understand the whole entertainment package of what the fans and what basketball is really all about.
You know, that last part might be the most important. The wisdom and the knowledge are certainly key. But I think the main thing to everybody watching tonight and through all the years, they just love to watch this guy perform, and they don't want it to end before it has to.
And I think the way it's going to play out, Bob, and the way it should play out is that go through the season. Just knock off all the talk about what's going to happen next year. Finish this season, and then when it's over, sit down and say, okay, now what do we do?
Well, I think the most important question and the follow-up on that, Bill, is what does the Bulls organization do? Because here's a young man, an old man, young man, veteran player who loves the game of basketball and still wants to play.
Well, let's go to Jim Gray with the young man, Kobe Bryant, who led the West with 18. Jordan's 23, was tops in the game. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Well, Kobe, you didn't get back in the game the last 18 minutes. George Karl iced you a little bit. Were you disappointed?
No, not really. I just like to come out here and have some fun. I had my fun, and I was able to rest a little bit.
Now, Eric, this experience, how much fun was it for you?
It was incredible. It was incredible. I mean, I was matched up with Mike, and we had a chance to go head-to-head a little bit. It was incredible.
Now, Michael Jordan has indicated that this might be his last year. How big of a disappointment would that be for you, and how much more can you learn from him?
Well, you can never stop learning. And, you know, Mike, every time I play against Mike, I learn something new. Disappointed, I don't know, because without him, I wouldn't be here right now. So.
What'd you learn tonight? What was the new thing you learned from him tonight?
Well, I can't tell you that. I got to keep all that to myself. For all the future basketball players out there or coming out of high school, can't give up my secrets.
You embraced each other. Did he say anything to you? And has the torch kind of been passed tonight?
I don't know. I think we just, went out, played hard, competed a little bit. They say keep up the hard work.
Now, Magic Johnson said that they want to bring you along slowly, and Del Harris has tried to do that. Did that task just become a little bit more difficult after today's game?
I don't know. I hope so.
Congratulations to you, Kobe.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you many more years. All right, let's go to Ahmad Rashad, who has the MVP. Ahmad?
All right, it is now time to make the presentation for this year's All-Star Game Most Valuable Player. And to make that presentation, here's the Commissioner of the NBA, Mr. David Stern.
Gave us a quadruple double.
Thank you. There's one star who is the star of stars tonight, amongst the greatest athletes in the world. I'm only going to allow him to have his trophy if he promises to come back and do it again. The all-star of all stars, the MVP, Michael Jordan. And to help me make the presentation, I'm going to ask Jack Greenberg, the chairman and CEO of McDonald's USA, to say a few words.
Well, Michael, as the proud sponsor of the NBA All-Star balloting this year again, it is McDonald's great pleasure to award you the McDonald's MVP award. You are fantastic. On behalf of all the owner-operators across America of McDonald's, we say congratulations. This really makes a great deal of sense. You have been such a great friend and role model for McDonald's, for the sport, and the country. We love you, and congratulations.
All right, Michael, knowing how much you love playing here in New York, this has to be special for you to win it here in New York.
It is special. I've had some great games here. The fans have always treated me with the utmost respect. I think to come back here and play in front of the fans here means a lot. This is basketball's Mecca, and I've enjoyed playing here, and I look forward to hopefully coming back one day.
Oh, was that a hedge? So for all the fans here, and I'm sure all the fans at home, don't leave. Come on back and play again.
Well, I will. I don't have a problem coming back. Honorary, I don't have a problem.
All right, congratulations, Michael. All right, let's go over to you, Bob.
Well, just in case you missed that word, he's not committing to anything because he said honorary. I don't have a problem. I'm perhaps thinking about the way Magic Johnson played in the '92 All-Star game. So he is not prepared to say that he'll come back and play a full season again next year and won't apparently do it unless it's under the terms that he's willing to accept.
Well, the love is in his heart for the game, and it's a shame that he can't continue to play for the team and the organization that he loved in terms of the Chicago Bulls. And it would be a tragedy if they break that team up and move Phil Jackson on.
I was impressed by the fact that all 23 other players stayed on the court and watched the ceremony. In the past, they've all just raced to the locker room, and they know that Michael Jordan is the reason that they have the greatest lives that anybody could possibly have.
The final score, which seems quite secondary, was 135 to 114 East. They led all the way. They never trailed. Grant Hill is with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Grant, kind of tough to get the basketball with Michael Jordan in the game, but you played very well. What's it like to be on the court with you?
First of all, I don't mind in Mike's shoes all the time. It's a pleasure to play with him, even though he's a Tar Heel. But no, it's fun to go out here and play with these great players, in a great environment here in New York, All-Star game. You know, I had fun, and now I got to go back to Detroit and have some fun there.
Do you feel as though he will return? What's your gut feeling? Has he said anything in the locker room? Do you have any sense?
You know, I think he's going to come back. You know, I think he's still able to dominate. He's still leading the league in scoring. He's still making the spectacular plays. I think he'll come back. It's a lot of money, so I think he'll come back. But no, he don't need the money. I think he just loves to play, and I hope he comes back.
Congratulations on the victory tonight, Grant.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, let's go back to Ahmad Rashad with Michael Jordan.
All right, Michael, now you've played in so many of these games, and they have their own rhythms about them. What was special about this one today?
Well, being here in Madison Square Garden means a lot. I mean, it's basketball mecca, you know, and I enjoy playing here. I think the fans here are very up to understanding the game, and, you know, for me to come in here and to play as hard as I play and get the respect of these fans, that means a lot to me.
Was it a little lonely being without some of the stars that you played in this game before? Charles wasn't here, Clyde not here.
Yeah, the first thing we said to each other, Carl and I, we're the two oldest guys here. You know, and things have changed. I remember when we were the two youngest guys here. And, you know, Sean Kemp said, boy, it's pretty quiet with Charles Barkley not being around. So, I mean, everybody could tell that, you know, times are changing. Some of the old guys are starting to move along and let some of the young guys come in. So, I mean, it's starting to change.
Can you compare this to your first experience in an All-Star game?
No, it's different. It's the other end of the spectrum. You know, I mean, when I first came here, I didn't know what to expect playing in an All-Star game. I just wanted to fit in. Now, I know what to expect, and I'm just trying to fight off all the young guys.
So now that this is over with, you got to gear up for the second half of the season. A little bit of turmoil in Chicago. How do you look at that? How do you guys get together and go for that next championship?
Hey, we block all that stuff out, you know. And if it is true, I mean, this is the last time we go around together, and we use that to our momentum. And, you know, hopefully we can go out there and focus on the basketball game and forget about all the other stuff. You know, once we're on the basketball court, it's all basketball anyway.
All right, congratulations, man. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday on NBC. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Ahmad, thanks. This was Michael Jordan's third All-Star MVP award. Ties Oscar Robertson with 3, one behind the all-time leader, Bob Pettit of the St. Louis Hawks, who won it 4 times. We'll be back to Madison Square Garden to wrap things up after this 48th NBA All-Star game in just a moment.